And we're back. Hey, YouTube, my family, and my friends. Excellent Dreams here, back with another exclusive video for you today. All right, let's try this again. Let's see how many people I can get on here with me today. Go to Rhinestone University. All right, all right. So while I'm in here, there it is right there. All right, let's see if I can name the meeting. Okay. Boom. Wait a minute. See here. Let's see who all I'm gonna have on here with me. Let's see who's all going to jump aboard. All right, for now, let's jump into. Oh, that's kind of split. How do I take it away though? Okay, all right, come back over here. Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. Marlon. All right, I'm back. I'm back. All right, let's see here. Go to Rhinestone University. Oh, nope. That wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to put a shout out on my page real quick, on my Ray Jones page. Okay, so it's there. Oh. So then I guess I gotta go here to Rhinestone University inside the group. All right, that's what I need to do. All right, I know. Give me a second, y'all. Bear with me, bear with me. A lot of people were saying they couldn't get on last time, so let's try it this way. Okay, so now that I'm live there, I need to go refresh this. Boom. Once I refresh that, add the link here. All right. Yep, add the link here, right here in the comments. Boom. There it is, right there. So now we'll just wait for people to jump on here with me. In the meanwhile, I want to show others what it looks like when you go to my Xcellent Dreamz store. So this shirt right here, to make this shirt right here, I have the files available for 60% off right now. And this is the one that Regina Givens just posted in the group. And she changed it from right here from it saying Cincinnati to Henderson. So if you want this one right here, motorcycle riders, you'll click on that. After you click on that, you will of course add it to your cart. Boom. You add it to your cart, proceed to checkout. After you download it, you will receive a folder that looks something like this. Motorcycle riders. Hold on. I've condensed my folders a lot since then, so you don't need any of this anymore. You won't receive any of that. You won't receive any of that. Right? Any of these. Boom. All right, so nope. I started making it real simple for y'all. All right, so you'll receive the guide file here. Guide file pretty much shows you stone group 1, what size it's supposed to be, stone group ungroup, stone group 2, ungroup, and then it breaks down the outline, the flock inside 2. All right. What's going on, Virginia? So this file right here, the motorcycle riders, the guide file will pretty much show you what size each piece is supposed to be. So then you open up your Cricut. Cancel this one. That was what I was showing for the Tommy Hilfiger design. You go to upload. Can you hear me, Tanya?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, all right. What software are you currently using?
Right, it's me, Tanya. You know I use Silhouette.
Okay.
I forgot I was on my phone and it logged in with my office's Zoom stuff, but no, it's me.
Yeah, I be having to open the screen up bigger so I can see people's faces.
Yeah, sorry I missed your Zoom. Sorry I missed you earlier.
Oh yeah. But I was just on there just showing stuff off. Just showing stuff off and showing people how to go and use the file section. A lot of people be using Facebook off their phone or off their tablet, and they don't know that it's a file section right here in the group. Hold on.
Yeah, your file section is quite extensive. I haven't even had a chance. I mean, I've been in it and but I haven't had a chance yet to dive through all of what's in there. It's like it's a lot.
Yeah, and I'm starting to see back when I was putting stuff in there uh like this Gucci guide right here. When you open this up, it shows the guide. Boom. But then you gotta I was uploading it piece by piece. I was uploading it piece by piece until I realized that you can actually upload zip files.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you see it had, let me see, it had Stone Group 1, Stone Group 2, and then Ungroup 1 and Ungroup 2. Right here in the file section, and I'm like, oh man, I just realized that it did it like that, and it came up like that. So it was a Gucci shield, and then got Stone Group 1, Stone Group 2, Stone Ungroup 1, Stone Ungroup 2. I really want to delete all 4 or 5 of those and group them into a zip file so that all they gotta do is click on one and it's all in one folder. So that's what that's what I've been doing here today is I've been going in there deleting all of these files and trying to just group it all into one file.
Oh, that would be so helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize that it was coming up in multiple sections like that until I went in there. I'm like, I know I tell people that the stuff is in the files all the time, but they probably gonna go in there and look at these files and be like, okay, and what is what? And now I'm about to really start breaking it down more and more. Got to break it down more and more so that people can see and they're
Yeah, well,
not lost and confused.
yeah, all the more reason though for people to ask questions, right? Ask questions so that you can direct them and explain to them exactly how the group is structured, where they can find things, who to ask, and so forth and so on. So sometimes a little bit of chaos can be good.
Right. The original post. No, just me going in there for myself trying to download it. It was hectic for me. So I'm just trying to streamline it a little. I still want them to ask questions, and I still want to be able to assist. But it's not supposed to be all over the place like this. And I'm gonna start, do a video to show people if they want to share theirs as well, how to go in there and um, turn into a zip file so that it's all in one folder.
Yeah, technically I did the same thing. I was playing around and, trying to learn, how you add files to the file section and so forth and so on. And I know I added that one one file in there. But usually when I create templates and such, I'm like you. I have a instruction sheet that, you know, breaks down each of the layers of the template and, you know, what the dimension sizes need to be if they're going to import it, you know, into Cricut Design Space, which, you know, sometimes doesn't always bring in those files in the right size and such. But I was messing around with it on my phone and so forth and so on. So I need to do the same with the one that I created, was, you know, is go back in there and add some more information to it. And
Yeah,
I'll get to that at some point.
yeah, yours was pretty streamlined though. That's what made me. Let me show you. When you click on yours, the heart flowers right here.
Yeah, that's it.
When we click on it, it's
Click on
right there. Now maybe I guess right here in the post, maybe we can add a little something to it. But when you click on it, it downloads. We open it up, and boom, there it is. There's the two pieces. When we drag it into Cricut, because I already did it right here. Boom.
Yeah, but what I need to make sure is that when you drag it into Cricut, that those two pieces on the dimension sizes actually drag in at the right size so that, you know, when a person goes to cut it, it doesn't, you know, bring it in at the wrong size. And then when they go to brush in their holes, those 10SS stones don't fit.
Right, exactly. That part.
That's what, yeah, that's the part that I need to just make sure of, that, you know, they have that information just in case.
Right. Because it definitely brought it in two pieces, ready to cut, you know. So, but I see what you're saying. Are these two pieces sized correctly so that the circles will be correct?
Right. Yeah. Somebody using Silhouette should probably get the right, they'll get the right file size, but the Cricut user, it's hit or miss sometimes. I mean, I know that there are people that can do it and have their files come in at the right size when they're imported into Cricut Design Space. And it's like a hit or miss for me. Sometimes I'll do it, I'll test it here at home and they'll come in correctly. And then other times they'll be slightly off.
See, right here, both of them are grouped together as 29.532 in width by 10.787 in height. When I saw that, I was like,
Oh no.
I thought that was kind of weird, like, you know what I mean? Because then you would have to have a mat that would be long enough to cut that out, right? And I thought it was 12 inches by 24-inch mat.
Well, I probably, when I saved the file as an SVG, I probably put the two cut layers on a 12 by 24 mat when I saved it. But I didn't think that Cricut took that into account once it got imported over. I thought it would just take the, you know, so I'm glad you mentioned that, and I'm glad I jumped on so that I can take a look at that and fix it.
Looking at it right here, it's three cuts. It's three cuts.
It's three, it should be,
I just ungrouped them.
uh-huh.
And now it's one that's 11.4 by 10.7. Then this one that's 11 by 10.3. And then it's this next one. Oh man, somebody at the door again. Hold on, give me just a second. We closed shop early for the day, and people are still showing up at the door. So give me just one hot second, real quick.
Okay.
Hey, can you catch me up to speed real quick while he's checking his door?
Hey, Tasha, yeah, sure. Basically, I mean, you didn't really mention much of anything. Ray was just going through the fact that, he's got the files in the file section, and that some of the files are in there as individual pieces when they really should have been grouped all as one file, such as the Gucci one that he has in there. So he's been going through the file section to try to clean that up just a little bit, so it make it easier for people when they go into the file section to find one of his free files or one of the other free files in there to be able to download and use. And that's pretty much where we left off at.
What it do? What it do?
Okay,
Mac,
thank you.
B Mac, what's
Hello.
going on, Tasha?
Hi, how are you?
I'm
At
just
work
great.
trying to sneak and listen.
Yeah, me too.
I hear y'all. I hear y'all.
Trying to do my part to participate and, like I said, and keep Ray motivated to keep doing this for us on a day to day, because I know it's hard. It's beyond the effort that you have to put in order to, and not only, like you say, Ray, just moderate your group, but again, to create the content
Yeah.
that you do for the videos, for your YouTubes and everything else, and along with all of everything else that you continue to do. It's a lot. And I don't know that people really understand, and why, they see you more often than I say, hey, we want you to engage, we want you to participate, because you want people to understand, hey, I'm doing this for you guys. I'm not doing it just for me. Um,
Right. I need that. I need that feedback to let me know that it's all worth the effort and the time, and that I'm not just doing it in vain. No, but
So can I ask you a question, please?
yeah.
Okay, so I'm not as an advance as you guys, but I do it. You were speaking about, you was trying to figure out why the sheet was so large, the sizing of it was so large. So sometimes the way that I come across when after I do a make compound path and draw the box around, sometimes I have to undo it and redo it and it'll resize again. So I don't know if that's just my computer having issues or if that's just a glitch within Silhouette Studios.
Okay, that would be a question more so that Tanya can answer.
Well,
Um,
Tasha, actually what happened, I think, was Ray was taking the design that I had put into the file section and he had imported it over into Cricut. So what
Okay.
was, how sometimes Cricut will import things out of Silhouette into the right to the right size, the dimensions, and then
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it doesn't. And I'm with you. I wonder if sometimes that's because either make a compound path part didn't happen, or it just there was
Mm-hmm.
a glitch of some sort, because it seems kind of strange to me that sometimes it'll bring things in as the right file size and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. And see, I cut using Cricut.
Okay.
So, but that's just sometimes how it works for me to where I just have to make sure like the cropping is very close, not so much of the space between the edge of the P and the end of I can't even describe it. I'm looking at it and have to make it real close, not to where it's on top of the circles, to where how you kind of crop a box around it, but just
Mm-hmm.
make it kind of close around to the edges, and then do the make compound, release the rhinestone, make compound path, and then if that doesn't work, sometimes I have to do it backwards to redo it. It's crazy, but it gets it done. But I was just wondering if it was just something within my system by itself, or if it's system wide because they kind of figured out, okay, this is something else new that they're doing. Let me kind of create something new to make more money.
I think it's Cricut design space, to be honest with you. it just seems like, I mean, I know that there have been lots of advances in Cricut design space, over the last year or so, making it much more robust than it had been previously. But there are a lot of restrictions and things, like the thing that I can't yet quite put my finger on is I don't quite understand why, if you have a 12-inch mat, why you can't cut 12 inches, because that's something to stay mindful of when you're in Silhouette designing your rhinestone template, that you got to make sure that if you import it over the way that I do with mine, with like the simulated piece of flock, that it can't be more than 12.5 inches wide. Otherwise, Cricut's going to see it and say your design is too big.
Yeah, but you have to understand that Silhouette is a step above Cricut.
I know.
So
No,
yeah.
I've been a Cricut
They're
user since
behind.
2019. So I mean, I know, that's what I'm saying. They've made a lot of advancements, but they're not yet up to speed yet. But even with some of the simplest of things, that I feel like a 12 by 12 machine should cut 12 by 12.
Yeah. Okay.
On the cutting side, I get the print and cut feature and all of that and taking into that account. But if you can cut a 12-inch, if you can put a 12-inch piece of vinyl on your mat, then your machine should cut all 12 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I wish I had taken the time to actually learn the jargon that you ladies are speaking when it comes to Cricut and design space. And I try to point this out a lot. I only dove as far into design space enough to be able to help people to cut out my designs. Um, a lot of people were asking me, well, how do you cut this out? How do you cut that out? Because they're not all the same. I do some trickery. Like, I wouldn't even call it trickery. Let me jump right into it. I wouldn't call it trickery, but everything is not easy as it seems. Like this one right here, it's pretty easy. When I open that one up and I go to it, people are like, okay, so what is it? Come on.
Can you show your screen, Ray?
Oh, I'm not.
He's showing it. He's showing it.
I'm just seeing him on my phone.
Swipe.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Swipe.
I see it.
Okay. Here we go. So this template right here, we go over the pictures. It's just dots. It's just circles. When you add it to the card, I call it the rhinestone scatter pattern. So since I already have it, I don't need to download it. Let's go to my templates for sale. And let's see here. Scatter. Scatter design. Okay. You'll receive the oh, wait a minute. All right, wait a minute. That's somebody else's scatter design. Let me go to. There we go. Scatter pattern 1. All right, that's a different. I did so many of the scatter patterns, but we'll use this one. I think I did a full. Yeah, here we go. All right, there it is. So on the guide file, it's basically, I made this to be cut out by Cricut cutters and Silhouette. So I made it 11,498 by 12 inches, and then ungrouped, it's 11,455 by 11,344. When you open that up into Cricut, upload. So it comes in as 11,497 by 12 inches. So when we double check our guide, 11,498 by 12. So I'm gonna just change that to 11,498. Let's unlock it here. 11,498. Boom, by 12. And then I'll hit make it. So of course we're just gonna cut out this one little piece right here. And after we cut it out and we brush it in, we're just gonna brush in however many pieces of this sheet that we need to fill up the entire shirt. And of course, when you get to the arm parts, you're just gonna cut those arm parts off and scrape them right back into the bucket so that you don't lose any stones. You get what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
So you just layer that
Over
stone
the-
it, but just layer it onto the sleeve of the shirt, and just all you're gonna do is just stone the part that you just cut that out. You're gonna
Yeah.
waste that piece of transfer tape, but you'll have it as a template for another sleeve, I guess. to use later on.
Yeah, or the way I've been doing it is I just been picking up whole sheets, you know. But when it comes to the sleeve part, I'll lay it down, I'll grab me a Sharpie, and I'll trim out the area so that I don't waste stones. When I
Right.
first did it, I just laid a Teflon sheet up under my shirt and I just pressed it right over and just threw the rest of the excess stones and the transfer tape in the garbage. You know what I mean?
Oh,
You
Oh,
don't
man.
use your transfer tape more than once?
Me? I use it till I can't use it no more. I
Oh,
used
okay,
to.
cool. You said just put it in the garbage. I was like, wait a minute.
No, I'm saying
I
the
keep
first time that
using
I
it.
did it and that I
Oh,
tried
okay.
it, I was in such a rush, like, you know, and once I pressed the stones down, I had melted the stones into the Teflon sheet that was up underneath the shirt. So I
Gotcha.
was like, I'm
Okay.
not about to scrape those off and hope that they stick on another garment. Like, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
In my trials and tribulations of just trying to make it work.
You better preach on that.
yeah. In the beginning, I threw away a lot of transfer paper too.
Yeah. I mean, we get to going in our flow and to go back and to scrape those stones off or whatever. Sometimes I just look at it like I got 72,000 of them. Like, you know what I mean? Let's keep it pushing. Like, but as I got better and I got into teaching mode, I start teaching preservation, conservation. Like, you know what I mean? We gonna get the most out of these stones and get the most out of our investment. You know what I mean?
Because when I first started, I messed up like 5 rows of yes, to where
Mhm.
I was like, I stopped doing rhinestones. Well, I ain't gonna say stop because I didn't start then. It took me a whole year of messing up before I actually got it because nobody was teaching it. It was a secret. It was
Yeah.
I can't do this. So then I just started freehanding to where I was doing it, just by, hands on tennis shoes, cups, and all that other stuff. And then something said, you know what? Don't let it beat you. Go back and start again. Make it work for you. And that's where I am. I'm making it work for me.
Making it work. See, when
Yes.
I first got started, it was I went to the store and I couldn't believe type of thing. You know what I mean? I'm at the store and I'm like, they selling these jeans for $800 and all it's got is a few stones on it. And I started customizing and doing my own stones. And people were like, where'd you get those from? And I'm like, well, I did them myself. And then it just sort of grew from there where people was asking, could you do mine? Could you do mine? And then I decided to just say I'm gonna do a YouTube channel out of it, you know. And never would I imagine that I would go full on teaching full time as a job as what I do. But here I am today, and I love
YouTube
every
is a
second
beautiful
of it.
thing. Mm-hmm.
Love every
Yeah.
It's a
second of it.
beautiful thing.
All right, that's
I try
one.
to tell people, but again, like you said, Tasha, again, anybody can do this,
Yeah.
right? If you just have the patience, because it does take a lot of patience
Mm-hmm.
and it takes practice. right?
Mhm.
And I told Ray, you know, like I said, I've only been doing this for 2 years, but I'm 54 years old. Okay. And you know, I'm not perfect. There's a lot of things in Silhouette yet that I don't quite know how to do, but what I have learned how to do, you know, I'm willing to share with others because there's no reason why you can't build and expound upon, you know, what I've learned that I'm willing to share with you or anybody
Mhm.
else, you know, and
Mhm.
take that further so that you
Mhm.
can be, you know, do with it, whether you want to be a passive, you know, make passive income, or you just want to create your own, you know, your own clothing
Mhm.
that's unique from anybody else's.
Also, Tanya, what I told myself this weekend, I had a lot of time just to sit there and relax and ponder. Like, and I was like, hmm, I'm going to dedicate time to learn more of Cricut, learn more of the design space. I mean, I got the darn thing right here. I mean, I got one right here. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. You got your
So,
maker or
yeah,
maker 3.
no, the Explore Air 2.
Oh, Explore Air 2. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
But the only reason
That's
I bought
mine.
that's the only but the only reason I bought it was uh I had so many designs on Etsy and people were like, well, we don't have a large format cutter. How are we supposed to use your designs if we don't have a large format cutter? So I took and revised a lot of my designs. I shrunk them down to 11 and a half, redesigned everything. And the only thing I learned was how to import SVG files and how to cut them out. But I'm almost sure that I learned a little bit about the print and cut features of it too. But I'm almost
Mhm.
sure every last one of my designs can be like the sublimation part. I was lost on that. You know, I'm like, how do you know? But I need to learn it in order to teach others. Like, I don't know how to print off sublimation images using Design Space and send that print file to my Epson 13 by 19-inch printer. Like, you know what I mean?
Which one? On Silhouette or
On
on?
on
Cricut
Design
Design Space.
Space.
Mm.
Well, you know, Cricut Design Space at one point, you know, had a limitation that you couldn't send anything over a certain width and height
Yeah.
as a print and cut feature. So a lot of people probably could have been, you know, stonewalled with some of your designs if they only had Cricut Design Space because they wouldn't have been able to print out the sublimated piece.
Right.
I know
Mhm.
that Cricut has
Mhm.
gone back in, and it used to be, I think, only 8.5 by 11, which had its certain dimensions, but I think they have gone up for as far as an 11 by 14, if I'm not mistaken. I
Mhm.
think you have to
You're
go
right.
into the page settings setup in order to change it. But
Mhm.
even then, at 11 by 14, you're still stuck, you know, because if you had something that was printing out, you know, 12 by 15, they're not going to be able to cut it.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
So that's where I went back in my thoughts and I was like, no, Corel Draw is so much easier and it's so much quicker and it's so much faster. And it's not a force people to use Corel type of situation, but it's almost like, hey y'all,
Simple.
y'all need to see this, and the more people that see it, the more people that's willing to make that investment, those will be the people that's, I wouldn't say of the elites, but
Mhm.
of the because it's still a different type
The
of
upper
jargon.
echelon of rhinestoning designers, I guess, if you want to call them.
Yeah, yeah, like that can jump in there. I mean, I don't want to say I'm lightning fast with Corel, but I'm lightning fast at times. You know what I mean? To where if it was the same design done in Silhouette, what's the max speed that you can get it done, ready to go, ready to press, because time is of the essence type of ordeal. You know what I mean? Like, you do some amazing work. I had this one teacher in my group a few years ago that taught Silhouette. I think she may have only did a class or so, and then she was like, maybe that wasn't for her because the classes didn't continue, you know? And I'm like, can it be that hard? Is it that much of the compound this, ungroup that, detach this, you know?
Well, Tasha, what would you say? So I know she said she was at work, so maybe I will say for myself,
I'm
using
sorry,
silhouette,
I muted because my manager was talking to me. Sorry.
that's what I thought. Ray was asking about, you know, designing, you know, in silhouette, and you know, I was going to defer it to you to see what your thoughts were. I know what my thoughts are. And I have both. I mean, actually, I have three. I have four rhinestoning designing software programs. You
Right.
know, I have Shortcuts a lot 5.
Mm-hmm.
I have Silhouette Studio. I have the Corel Draw with the TRW Wizard, and I have Sierra Hotfix
Here,
Era.
here, Hotfix here.
I
And
started with just silhouette. That's what I started with. And then it was so easy for me to do it versus doing it in Design Space, because then back then, Design Space, you had to save, you had to take all the color out and all that. So where in Silhouette Studio, you can just copy. But I do a lot of my designing in Canva, and a lot of people frown upon Canva, but I love it because it's easy for me to bring over into um to Silhouette. And then I'm trying to teach myself print shop, but we'll see how that goes. But I do a lot of mine in Canva, my
so
designing.
are you doing when you do that, Tasha? Are you using it for fonts? Or are you using it for, because that's where I get, you know, a lot of people have a lot of issues, you know, and I try to explain to people, and I could be wrong, but my assumption is that, you know, of course, all fonts are not made for rhinestoning, right? Right out
Right,
of the system, you
right.
know, which is why a lot of times I buy a lot of digitized fonts from like TRW or, you know, other
That was a
sellers.
waste of money for me.
So that's why, you know, I would love, love to converse with someone or sit down with somebody or even take a class with somebody who has figured out a way how to do fonts in Silhouette easier than what I'm currently having to figure out. I mean, I have a few go-to fonts that I use, but I've
Hmm.
seen, and I don't necessarily want to recreate them all by hand either, right? I don't want to bring in something and
Sometimes
then
that's what you're gonna
manually.
have to do in
I,
order to
I
see
know.
it. The block ones or the easiest ones to redo. And I
Like
wasted a
scripty
lot of
font.
money off of TRW fonts, and then they really didn't have any cute ones like defont.com and all the other free.
Hmm.
You can pretty much, okay, so the cheap way I do is trace.
I do a lot of
That's
tracing. Hmm.
that's what I do. And I've came across a lot of different fonts that I can use that way. It's just by tracing.
Right.
And you probably have to like sit there and look at it, and especially when it gets to the N's and the M's and the V's. But other than that, you make it work for you. It's your design.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, yeah, you know, like I said, I'd use the trace feature for other parts of it, but I hadn't thought about using it for like, you know, fonts. You know, so you're saying in what you would do is if you saw a font that you like I say, like you said, defont.com, a
Mm-hmm.
scripty font, you know, because I think a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people like the scripty fonts and such. And so you
Mm-hmm.
bring that in, you type it in what you want, you size it to where you want it to be, and then
Go ahead and
you
weld
trace
it.
it,
Go
weld
ahead and
it,
weld. Yeah, go ahead and do your welding,
and then trace it.
and then trace it. So I wouldn't attach that all together. I will
Mm-hmm.
start out using font first, making that to what I want it to look like. So you could do it one or two ways. Once you how do you want me to send it? Okay. So what you could do is you could start out just doing font. Um Go ahead and so copy that and put it to the side. If that's the size that you need, just copy that, put it to the side. Take the rhinestones out. So I have like 2 of everything. Take the rhinestones out.
I'm hearing you. I'm in Corel Draw while you ladies are just talking. This is Corel Draw doing this thing. I don't use Cricut or Silhouette at all. I'm in a totally different software.
Oh, I'm sorry. We can.
No,
You want
no,
to talk about that later?
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
listening. I'm
Okay.
letting you
So
ladies talk while I'm producing it in Corel Draw as fast as I can, just using any particular font that I came up
okay.
with. I was gonna talk
Okay.
about it
Okay.
when you got
So
done.
Okay.
I had to,
So
I
go
had to
ahead and
turn my,
duplicate that. Duplicate that.
okay, I had to turn my head for just a second. But what you're saying, Tasha, is okay. So you're gonna type out what you want in the font that you want,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna size it to whatever size your design is going to be. Is that the starting place?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. And then you're gonna make a duplicate.
Yes.
Okay.
So don't make once you make that duplicate, don't make any other changes in that size. And
Okay.
then on the one, I can't see your screen.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. Whoa.
Okay. So what you will do is the one that you have on the right, now you can go ahead and make that rhinestone. So go ahead and click, and then I'll say, okay, start with the outline from 6. How do I like that? Okay. Do I want to go to the next option and go ahead and make it a 10?
Okay. Okay.
And
Now, see,
then, so what you'll do is, what I'll start doing is release the rhinestones from there and just fill them in.
okay. See what you've done, Ray, in Corel is not necessarily what we're gonna get per se in Silhouette.
Right.
But
Right.
I get the concept of what Tasha is talking about. It's like kind of get it to give you the bare bones basic, and then
Mhm.
work from there.
Right.
So put
Because
that
it
on
will.
top of that, and then I'll just start tracing the letters. So if you want, either put the black on up underneath the blue, and that way you could kind of see where it start and stop. And I'll just start filling in circles, moving them around, and seeing, where to start, where to stop. And you're not going to be like 100% on the line
Right.
all the time, but you will be close to it to where it's not going to be like looking like it's missing circles.
Right. Right. I get it, Sasha. So that's why I teach the power of this software so much, because with this software here, I can change this contour spacing right here to 0.3, click on here and do an island fill. Well, matter of fact, I'm going to break this curve apart. I'm going to separate those 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bring these up some. Keep all of that together, and I'm going to put that together as well. Now, if I did a hatch fill on this whole font right here, look how beautiful this will come out. And that's pretty much ready. Hold on.
So yeah,
That's pretty much ready to cut.
That's
Yep.
ready to cut. If I change this to white so we can't see it, that's ready to cut and it looks perfect. Maybe I'll go in here, right here, and fix this row here. This software here is just so monstrous. Edit, fill between 2, and that row is fixed. I'll fix this row right here as well too.
And see, Silhouette kind of has that feature, like what you're doing right now. The only way that
To
I've
where
been
you
able
don't
to
have
get
to
it to
take
work,
it out.
yeah, but right, because the only way I can get it to work is to click the very most outer edges of the very most outer circles, and then click all the inner circles, right? Click the whole row, and then click the horizontal spacing from there.
Yeah.
But that's time consuming. Like, what Ray is doing with, I mean, that would, like I said, I know the power of the TRW software. That's why I invested the freaking $819 to buy the software.
Right.
But I've been working in the Silhouettes software for so long that that's what has become intuitive to me, right? And rather than to sit and try to figure out what I don't know, it seems like it's faster for me to go ahead and do it in what I do know, even though I know I'm going to use more steps to get to achieve the same result.
Right.
Mhm.
And that's where I was getting at, to where a lot of people, I notice a lot of people, they are like, and times are hard, times are what they are. They're like, if I can do it and figure it out in Silhouette for the $50, I'm going to do it that way. So I'm going to dive deeper into only the Cricut side of things. You know what I mean? I want to let you uh take the Silhouette, because I don't plan on buying another machine and trying to learn another machine.
Well, that's the
I,
good thing about Silhouette is you don't have to buy a Cameo in order to use their software. You just you don't. It's a standalone software all on its own
I
per
got
se.
it. I got it
And
already, and I tried it
oh,
already, and I was like, no, I'm a I'm a Corel Draw guy, and I left it alone. Like, I mean, so that's why I say I don't even want to dive that far deep into it, but I do want to master the machine that I already have. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
Sound like my husband.
and help people out along in that way. I don't want to be those type of people, one of those people that's got 9 machines in here, and I'm like juggling from here to there. Like, I want to master what I got, like, you know what I mean, and help other people master what they have as well. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
well,
want to. Yeah.
I don't plan on buying any other machines. I've got a Cameo Pro, which is their 24-inch cutter, and I've got a Maker.
Oh yeah.
And, I mean, I keep hearing good things about, Caesar's, either the Romeo or the Juliet, but then I've also heard some horror stories. So it's just
Mhm.
kind of like, I got enough of money invested in cutters right now that, like you said, I don't need any more cutters.
Right.
Um,
Right. If I
and
buy another cutter, it's going to be a glow forge. I have been looking at a glow forge, and that's totally different than what I have. But I'm not going to buy another cutter. I want to
I, I
yeah,
almost would say if you were looking to get a laser, right,
yeah. I looked at
probably
the H
go,
two.
probably look at the X1. Um, because I have a glow forge. I have a glow forge Aura. And I like the glow forge, and I like the fact that you can just bring your image onto the screen and send it to the laser, and boom, it'll start cutting. I mean, it's as easy as right out the box within 30 minutes of hooking it up. You could be
Right.
cutting something. But like I said, there are limitations in it, and the fact that it is also a web-based program, you
Okay.
have to use their software.
Yeah.
If they ever go out of business and stop producing the glow forges, you're gonna have nothing but a huge paperweight sitting at your house.
Mm.
So you might want to, like I said, when you're thinking about, because they've already had, I read this stuff all the time, and I pay attention, and they laid off a bunch of people, and when companies start doing stuff like that, I know they call it restructuring sometimes, but sometimes that too is, again, I don't know whether or not how much longer y'all gonna be around.
Right.
Right. I bought your machine to hopefully last me for years and years and years. But if you're talking a year or two down the road, you're gonna be defunct. And I done put $5,000 or $6,000 into some equipment that I can't use because it can only be used with your software. I'm not gonna be too happy about that.
Yeah, that sort of
So
sucks.
I've been looking at, other machines that, you can use, either their program or, possibly invest in, like Lightburn, because I had a O-Tour laser before was my first one. And I used the Lightburn software, and it works really good. You pay for it. I think it's a one-time purchase too. But again, it's just about making sure that whatever you buy, whatever you invest in is going to be around for the long haul.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
You know,
So so I'm pretty much done with this tricky font right here. I'm gonna mock it up and go ahead and throw it on the shirt real quick.
well, I asked you, Tasha, too. One of the things that I learned too, with some instances in Silhouette with fonts, like, sometimes you can take a font and bring it in, and how, of course, when, depending on what size you bring it in, sometimes you get the stones to come out the way you want it to, sometimes you don't. But I have found too, sometimes, if you do the internal, if you make an internal offset
Mhm.
of the font. You know,
Mhm.
sometimes if you're looking at least just to get like a straight line lettering, sometimes that
Mhm.
works.
Oh,
Have you done that?
I have not.
Yeah, I did it on a oh shoot, I gotta take a call. Hold on one second. I'm put you guys on mute.
That's what I'm trying to learn how to use doing. You're in Corel Draw, correct?
Right.
Yeah. I was like, how can I get my mock-ups to go on? I mean, how can I get my rhinestones on a mock-up instead of me cutting all these? Because I pretty much cut everything that I post just to make sure that it works.
Right.
But I'm like, how can I get that to where it kind of looks like something that I uploaded and I can, quickly do it like a mock-up like that. But
Yeah.
that's just strictly Corel Draw.
This is built into the design wizard. They have an actual mock-up section here to where if I go back to page 1 and I do it again, I can change it from a women's shirt to a men's
Bypass the intake. There's an option when you
hoodie.
call and it tells you to press a certain number to get to intake.
Oh,
If you pass
that's
that,
her. That's her phone.
so you have to go. You have to go
So
to
does it
intake.
move around also, or just
Know
just
whether
the front of it?
you don't see
Oh
what
yeah. I mean, you can place it where you want it and say
what I can do that
sounds going right there.
for you. I think that
Y'all go have me trying to go get another program system, and my husband go put me out.
maybe close for the day.
Hey, that's not what I'm trying to get you to do, but ultimately, throughout the years, I've been showing that this software right here is the only software that you would ever need when it comes to doing rhinestones. This one, to me, compared to what everyone else has been doing and what I've saw everyone else doing, I'm like, ooh, y'all do a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With this one, it's more so once you get it, it's what you think, it's what you can do. Like, to say the phrase what you see is what you get. No, with this software, what you think is what you can do once you realize what these little buttons on the side do. And that's most people get it in the hours time of me teaching it. Some people take 3 hours, like, but once you get it, it's like
And it's through TRW.
yeah, it's through TRW, yeah. Right. But I wasn't getting on here today to really show off that software. What I was getting on here today was to show that any cutter that you get, it's not just my site. There's tons of people out there that have rhinestone templates. You can download a simple rhinestone template and just upload the files directly into your software, and you're cutting out that design pretty much on the fly. Let's see here. I got so many templates for sale, like this cover by God.
But let me see if I can find it online for you.
Let's go here. Let's go to, there it is, the cover by God design.
Oh, that's nice.
Once people get it in mind, here's the guide file. So it shows the stone group that you will use if you have a Cricut. It shows the stone ungroup, what you will use if you have a silhouette. And then it shows the vinyl group. And I got 2 different vinyl groups because one vinyl group is broken up and it has like different colors and different layers. And then this vinyl group is all one together. And then this vinyl group, as you can see, I took the inside of the umbrella out and just made it an outline. And then this right here is like the sublimation DTF size if you were going to upload it into your DTF printer or sublimation printer and get to changing the colors around. So let's see here. Go back to Cricut.
And that's what I just bought to convert.
Yeah.
For
Well, like I said,
DT,
voice removal service is usually a service that, usually for
Browse. Let's go
um,
to
patient
cover
without,
back guide.
and that attorney would be, you could ask them questions, they would be able to advise you as to whether or
Yep.
not,
And I'm going to upload the vinyl group,
something
the
that
first
you would
one.
want to proceed with, but,
See, we
if you
got
decide.
what? 1, 2, 3,
2, 3,
4,
4.
5 colors.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
When I realized that Cricut could do this, it was game changing for me because I used to break it down piece by piece by piece, and then it would be like 15 pieces to the design. But now just uploading the whole thing into a vinyl group.
like I said, if you have
Those
any
are the pieces to the umbrella.
try to call back and see if you can get someone.
There's the
And you
umbrella
grouped
and the
it by
cover by
color.
guide. Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's what you did, grouped it by color. Yeah.
4 and 5. So it broke it all down like that. And I love how it does that because when you do the other one, I started breaking them down. So we got a vinyl group 1, 2, and 3. Let's go to vinyl group 2. And that's where I was like, I want to make it simple for them and just have it all together.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's all together. Yep, 1 cut file. Yep. So when people buy my designs, they're getting so much more than just a rhinestone template. You know, even if you
Mm-hmm.
was not doing rhinestones, you could grab one of my files, and now you got like just the cut files if you wanted to cut glitter, or if you wanted to cut glow in the dark or reflective. You know, without even using the rhinestone template part. Boom. I try to make it simple. That should be 1 cut. Yes. But then also for the rhinestone part, I did it.
Sorry, I fell off.
Okay.
Group here. Uh-oh. Where's that? All right, let's go back. Stone group. Oh, okay.
Can you give me a brief rundown while you work through that, Ray, what we're doing?
Yeah, I was just showing that cover by guide file
Oh
design.
yeah, I got that. I hadn't cut it yet though.
Yeah, I was breaking it down how I did. Let me show you here. On how I got vinyl group 1, 2, and 3. So in the first vinyl group, it has all of the colors. And when you pull it in the Cricut, it's going to break it down by color and have you cut it out by color. But then on the second one, I did another one that was a vinyl group 2, which is just one outline. So you drag that one in, you'll cut out that one outline, and then you'll brush the stones in for the umbrella, for the cover by, and by the guide part. And I've broken it all down. Let's see here. So something is wrong with that file. And that's why I like going through them like this, because you'll find your mistake. So I don't need to redo that stone group file. But here it is, stone ungrouped. So it's still there, but I need to fix that file. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what happened right there. And I put it all in together. And most people would think that you had to brush in the same color stone for the whole thing, but I actually may have separated it just a bit, or I drug the guide back down to where you can do 3 color stones or even 4 color stones. 1, then another color, and another color, and another color. But I don't think that it's that it would match. It won't. It may not match when you go to, if you brushed it all in and then you went to go layer it over the rhinestone template. You will see that you may have to cut the umbrella, then cut the covered by, and then have 3 separate pieces, and then align the first piece, align the second piece, and align the third piece. I do that to save rhinestone flock, but also, yeah, to save rhinestone flock because I don't like wasting money.
Or either that or just stone each piece of it individually and just layer it on the shirt as you go. And then that way you don't have to cut your transfer paper.
Right. Oh, nice one.
That's what I do.
I know, but then I be looking at the time, like, you know what I mean?
A few minutes worth of time versus the material. I much rather, it doesn't take that much long for me to walk from my dining room back to my kitchen where I'm using my press to do it.
All right, so check this out. So check this out. All right. Perfect example, and I love these conversations because it helps people along. How would you do it though if you were doing 10 of these shirts? My dear lady.
Okay, well now see now you want to throw that into the mix. If I were doing 10 of them, it'd be different. If I were doing 10 of them as transfers, or whether it was doing 10 of them as, different shirts, probably what I would do is I would go ahead and I would just stone each section individually, and but at that point then I would wind up having to wait at that, but then I'd have to cut 10 pieces of transfer paper, and I don't want to do that.
Right. Okay, so how I would do it is I would take this design here and I would actually waste. I wouldn't say waste, but I would cut it out twice. So I would take it covered by God, and then it'd be covered by God. So I'll cut out a 24-inch sheet with 2 of them side by side, right?
Mm-hmm.
That way,
so you cut 2 of the same template.
2 of the same template side by side. That way, I'm brushing in 2 templates at once, 2 transfers at once. When I layer in my red stones for the top of the umbrella, these 2 shirts, the umbrella's getting red. I'm brushing in that part. Boom, boom, boom. I'm moving on to the covered by part. Those are going to get clear stones. I brush in those areas. Boom, boom, boom. The guide part is going to get yellow. Boom, boom, boom. Now pick it all up. Boom, set it to the side. I work on my next 2 shirts. My next 2 shirts is getting purple stones for the umbrella. Like, you know what I mean? Clear stones for the covered by, pink stones by the guide. Boom, boom, boom. You see what I'm saying? That way I'm knocking out 2 shirts at one time versus
individual shirts.
Yeah, one by one. I had those mole shirts, the Mo's Uptown Lounge shirts, and they wanted 30 of them. I had to do what I had to do, and I did not want to use one template over and over 30 times. So I cut it out. The mole was a name, so it went sideways like this. I did 9 of them on one sheet, and brushed all 9 in at once, and only had to do it 3 times.
Okay.
I'm here to help along because I've been doing this for so long, and I'm getting to the point to where I love doing shirts, and I want to do bigger, more elaborate shirts, but I love teaching as well. So if I can teach more and without doing more shirts, I'm gonna do that, And I wanted to see people do more shirts like I was doing more shirts, I'm to the point where the more and more and more I love teaching, the more and more I want to see my students prosper. I want to see the smile on my students' faces for saying that, oh man, they're showing their first rhinestone shirt, or they're showing their first 25, 30 shirt order where they did it in multiple colors. That's going to bring joy to my heart to know that I help people to get there. Because when I first got started, the help was not there, I tip my hat off to you for learning silhouette, because when I went in there and I tried, I was like, oh, this seems like a lot. Like, I mean, and I was, because I was trying to learn them both at the same time. Because Matt
Oh,
was teaching both at the same.
that's how I feel about Corel, and like I said, I keep saying, Tanya, you need to go over there and you need to figure it out. It's probably going to be a game. I know it's a game changer and it's going to be a time saver. But like I said, I learn best when like hands-on, right? I mean, I can learn through video and such, but actually getting into it and doing it is going to be the best teacher for me. But I got to find the time. And the time is the part that I don't have right now. Working a full-time job during the day, trying to create, designs, trying to help mentor other people, running, your Facebook group, trying to get orders out in the mail. There's only so much time at the end of the day, where, like I said, some days I'm functioning on 2 hours of sleep.
Right.
And like I said, I just don't bounce back like I used to. I don't, I can do it for a couple of days, but then by the time midweek comes, I'm dragging, and that's no good for anybody, because then I'm no good at work. I'm no good to anybody else, and people are relying upon us, like I said, to provide them with helpful information that's going to help them, and that's what I want to do. And I saw Crystal on the call. You there, hon? You still there? She may can't mute her. She may be muted as well. But again, just trying to be that resource for people and help them figure this out, because like I said, there's enough room at the table for everybody.
Yes, it is.
There's no reason why anybody should fear anybody else who's doing this kind of work, because like I said, you have your own style. Can't nobody go back in there, and they might try and copy what you're doing, but that's all it's going to be. It's going to be a copy. It's not going to be that original. Like when you see it, you be like, oh man, I know exactly who did that. That was Ray Jones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's something to be said for that. And so my thing is just like, you doing your thing, and, I might come in here and do my thing, and somebody else come in there and do their thing. Everybody's doing something different. And it just opens up the door to the different type of, what you can have and what you can wear and what's going to be different. And, so there's no reason for people to hold it all in and, not want to share information with others on how you do this. Because if you have a following of people, like you have your following of people, and and they're going to be loyal to you. They're going to continue to keep buying from you. Yeah. And the fact, if they go out and they buy from somebody else, we can't stop that, even if we try.
Yeah, you just come back and make better.
Exactly. And so again, I just say that, I applaud you. Like I said, I try to stay, as relevant in the group as I can, and try to be, just be there and such. And appreciate everybody else who steps up to the plate to answer questions and share their work. Because I think that's the key. I think if people were willing to share, then other people would be willing to share.
Yes.
But I know that there's some who, for whatever reason, I mean, and I get proprietary, and we don't want people stealing your stuff and stuff. And, I tell people all the time, just be sure to watermark your images. You can't stop anybody from stealing anything unless you got big pockets. Deep pockets.
Right.
Then you're going to hire an attorney, because what people seem to fail to realize is that when you create something, Ray Jones creates it, even though he may not have gone to the copyright place and had it copyrighted and patented or trademarked and all that other stuff. But the fact that you created it and can prove when you created it still affords you the ability to be able to say, if you saw it out there and somebody else was claiming it as their own, to prosecute them if you so chose, if you could afford to do it,
But then you're looking at Ray work, and then I look at what I was excited about, and I get ready to try to upload, and I be like, I don't get that same like I see when I see his work, or I don't get that same like I do when I see your work. So, like for me, sometimes I just get discouraged as far as sharing what I could do, or I just get discouraged.
Now,
I do it,
girlfriend,
but I just get discouraged.
girlfriend, you know I'm getting ready to say something about that right there. Because I have seen your work is beautiful. Your rhinestone tumbling work, rhinestone, your tumbler work, just, even if it's not a rhinestone design for apparel, right? Like a shirt or whatever, you have skills. You have mad skills. And the only way people are gonna know that you're out there is you've got to show it. There's no need, I get, like I said, sometimes we don't want the negativity. Sometimes it comes with, because we work hard on what we put together, right? I work hard sometimes, and some of the stuff that I do, it's not always appreciated by everybody. And I know Ray has probably been down that road too.
Yeah.
Right. He's got some stuff out there that may not appeal to everybody, but that's okay, because we don't necessarily know who our stuff's going to appeal to.
Right.
And so unless we put it out there, you roll with the punches. Some people are gonna like it and some people aren't, or you may get where nobody likes it. But if nobody likes it and people come back and they tell it to you, whether it be constructive feedback, and even sometimes when it's negative feedback, because you just can't stop the naysayers, right? You gotta brush that off. Take that constructive feedback that you get from folk to help you refine what it is that you do to make it, like Ray said, better.
Make it better. When I first got started, it was stuff to me where I was so excited to be doing it, and then I posted it then and was excited then, and then Facebook memories are popping back up here now, 7 years later, and I'll look at the screen and be like, "Oh, I was putting that out. That's hideous." Like, you know what I mean? But it goes to help to show me and show my progress and show where I was and where I am now. Like, you know what I mean? And that goes to speak for car companies, that goes to speak for clothing companies, for even food companies when they first came out to say, I remember when they was in these little see-through bags at the flea market, and now they're actually on the shelves and in the stores. Goes to show the progress. So don't hate on the beginning. Show the beginning steps, show the middle steps, show your I started, I got good, I got great, I got better progress, for those people that are in that same niche of products that you produce. All of our products aren't the same. I never want to touch a tumbler, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I inspire tumbler people, who, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I never want to touch I've done a few pair of shoes. I never want to do them again because it's so time consuming. But then to other people who like crocheting and like knitting and like those time consuming tasks, there's a whole lane for that. A whole lane. Rhinestone hats, rhinestone teddy bears, like, you you name it. Like, I would love to have a rhinestone teddy bear, but I'm not gonna do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe I get so famous one day, somebody do me a rhinestone teddy bear, and then they donate it to me, and all I gotta do is pay the $49.99 shipping and handling because it's gonna be heavy.
Oh,
Gonna be
Christelle
heavy.
she might do you a medicine bottle, right? Come on.
Yes, I'm on here. I was on here. I was just listening to you guys. I was so excited when I seen Ray. I haven't officially met you, but I love your work. I've watched you for a long time. You are bad.
Oh, thank you.
You are a bad king. And Miss Tanya, I look up to you. You're like one of my idols now. You really are.
No, like I said, again, I think I'm just doing the same thing that Ray is out here doing, is just trying to do good work and trying to pay it forward, because at the end of the day, I know Ray's situation is different than mine, but my crafting and what I do is not, is not income to support my household. I have a full-time job, and that's what keeps the roof over my head. But I do this because I enjoy it. I've been crafting since I was a little girl, all kinds of things. And I just enjoy working with my hands. And, the older I get, it's really more about, like I said, can I still do it? you know, do I still have the mental capacity to be able to go in here and figure out how to, you know, put these things together in order to create X, Y, and Z? And so that's why I do it. And then I'd like to say, I just fostering along other people who have a passion for crafting, you know, and watch them grow and evolve and do something that would allow them to, you know, make extra money if that was what they wanted to do. And so, you know, I feel like knowledge is power. The more power we have, the better we will be, you know, and that pertains to everything, you know. And so, you know, I don't have a problem with sharing, you know, what I know, because I know at some point I didn't know it. And whether I figured it out for myself or whether somebody was kind enough to share it with me, you know, the thing that I can do is, like I said, is to continue to keep furthering it along. So that's why, you know, I try to give of myself as much as I can, you know, to help others do what they would do what makes them happy, you know. And I'm so, like I said, I feel so fortunate to have stumbled upon Ray's group, you know, because like I said, you know, I belong to a lot of different groups, you know, crafting, rhinestoning, AI, you know, a lot of them. And, you know, some of them, like I said, and you know, Crystal, we in some of the same groups together. You know, there's some group people that are out there that are willing to give and share everything that they have with you. You know, they don't want anything else in return other than, you know, just the support, right? You know, and such. And then there are other groups out there, like I said, well, that's not the case, you know. And you know, I appreciate the fact that Ray opens up his platform to allow everyone to have a voice, you know, until, you know, they take it too far, or they're not forthcoming with information and such, you know, where he had to, you know, make a new restriction, you know, just the other day about, you know, posts about rhinestones. If you're going to post you have rhinestones, he's okay with you selling them. Just tell people what they cost, you know, rather than, like you said, again, to create this thing where, you know, people are inboxing that person directly, you know, and such. Because then at that point, you know, he can't control what happens in the group. You know, it's about, I think it's more about transparency, right? And in that way, people can feel safe when they're in the group.
Yeah.
To know that they can conduct business, you know, in a safe environment, because there's so many people out here that are trying to scam folk. It's not even funny.
Yeah, that part. That part. And it's a lot of Chinese sellers on here who I get the whole shipping. I get shipping costs to me may be different than shipping costs to you. Like, you know what I mean? And I understand that, but when they go on there and they say and they post all these wonderful, beautiful rhinestones, and then people ask questions, and then they be like inbox. I'd be like, inbox for what? The whole group want to know. Like, you know what I mean? Why would you want to inbox 30 people the same information when you could just put that information right here? Unless you got something that you have to hide, or unless you're doing business in a shiesty way, put that information right here or take that stuff somewhere else. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
And you know, that's a good thing if you let people promote, you know, their business right there. Like you said, who wants to inbox 30 people? I sure don't.
Exactly.
I love it that we got those people in the group or trolling the group or whatever they're doing in the group. But if they here to help Rhinestone University out and help people out that really want to buy rhinestones, then they will make informative posts, like, you know what I mean, to where the whole entire group can see that they selling 100 gross rhinestones for $29.99 plus shipping and handling. Like, you know what I mean? What that shipping and handling is to you versus what it is to me, I understand there may be a difference there. And that's why they are reluctant on pricing it from get-go. I think that may be where a lot of the foreigners come across, where they don't want to share that information right away because it's different, you know, shipping to Cincinnati versus shipping to California. But that's not the information I'm talking about listing. I'm talking about just the price, size, and the quantity. You know what I mean?
But I think too, what the overseas sellers also tend to do is based on your order, will depend on what pricing they give you.
Yeah.
Because if you only gonna order one, 100 gross bag or 500 gross bag or something, versus somebody who's willing to order 100, 500 gross bags or something, they're gonna be willing to cut you a better price break than they are going to somebody else. So they're not gonna want to put a price out there, because depending on what that is, it could either deter people away, that would potentially, because they're gonna, if it's, they don't know what it is that you really want, right? They just know that you want rhinestone.
Yeah.
That's been like I said, I've seen that on AliExpress, Alibaba. I've dealt with the overseas supplier, and you could reach out to 5 different ones, and each one of them selling the same exact thing, but each one of them gonna give you a different price for the rhinestones. They're pretty much all gonna be the same on the shipping, because they claim they don't make any money on shipping, but I don't quite believe that. But in any event, I've gotten, like I said, 5 different vendors, same rhinestones, give me 5 different prices.
But that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to keep happening as the world, as technology, as AI keeps making the world smaller and smaller and smaller, to where we're able to do those type of business transactions quicker, faster, more efficiently, to where we're not ping-ponging language back and forth, to where we're talking to people that don't quite understand us. As the world gets smaller and more people are buying overseas like that, it should get easier. It should get easier, and it should get less cumbersome. But that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing over time. Over 10 years ago, it was nothing to go online and buy a 500 gross bag of rhinestones for $29.99. You know what I mean? And they were selling it on eBay like this with free shipping. You know what I mean? Yep. Nowadays, that price is $149. You know what I mean? Yeah. From the same type of vendors who caught on to the rhinestone market, and who understood the value of it. Back then, they didn't understand the value. They was just selling rhinestones, and they were dirt cheap. I got buckets and buckets of rhinestones for less than $40. 72,000 bad. Nowadays, you can't even find those, and if you do, last time I went online, I think I might have paid $45 for specialty color for 72,000 rhinestones. 45 may have been the top price. And then like I got my crystal clear, those were like $17.50, maybe $23. And then the price just fluctuated from there based on the color. But then shipping for, I think I ended up getting like 10 bags of 72,000. My order was $700, and that included like $200 in shipping. But I probably won't have to buy rhinestones again for another year, maybe. And that was, I placed that order a year and a half ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm in that boat. I've got, I post every now and again. I don't push it or whatever, because again, I know people can go buy rhinestones from lots of places or whatever. But I wanted to be able to, like I said, have them in case, because I do sell, and it's like a ride along add-on along with all the things that I'm doing, and I've got like, probably $5,000 worth of inventory and rhinestones sitting in here in my dining room, in my living room right now. And like you said, overseas, but and $1,000 of that was just for shipping, just to get it here, so I wasn't waiting 6 months for it to come on the boat. But again, like I said, it is, I do believe, like you said, that a lot of the overseas retailers are starting to realize that, yeah, there is a market, and for what they were selling, at a very, reasonable expense, that they now learn that they could charge more for it, because more people are wanting to get into it, especially those, the specialty, like you said, colors that you can't readily get online. Like I said, even on Amazon, eBay, you got your basic line of standard colors that you can get, but if you want to upscale and you want to go, in a different route and do some things a little bit differently, yeah, you're gonna have to pay a little bit more for them, or and such. But they don't have to, but they're not like out of reach either. you
Right.
know,
Right.
it shouldn't be out of reach.
Like I want people to and they will, because it's a craft and it's an art form, to the point to where if you just getting in it and making shirts for yourself, and you make 7, 8, 9, 10 shirts for yourself, you're gonna realize how much money you done spent on yourself. You know, you're gonna start realizing like, oh, well dang, I'm gonna need to buy me some more rhinestones. Like, you know what I mean? And then you're gonna go back and realize and say, okay, well, yeah, this stuff do cost. It costs more than when I was buying the glitter and making the glitter shirts. You know, I was able to make this many glitter shirts out of whatever I bought for glitter. But for rhinestones, it's it's the next step up. You know, it's the next step up of, if you're gonna buy them cheap, you're gonna have problems, because after 6 months the glue gonna fall off, and you're gonna have an inferior product. You know, if you
Yeah, I
buy
always tell people, oh, I bought my rhinestones from Temu. Temu's got great rhinestones. Okay, yeah, okay.
Mhm.
okay,
Yeah,
oh
you
you
can get the rhinestones from Temu. You sure can,
yeah,
but like you said, when they come and they're cloudy, right? Because you can't, I feel like you're not gonna get first quality stuff, at 69 cents a pop. I mean, you're just not.
not right, right.
Or like you said, they hang on for one wash, but by the time you wash it the second, third time, you done lost half the rhinestones in the wash.
Yep. And you got that green dot where a rhinestone should have been, you know, on your shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I,
So,
I've
it,
been
it,
down
it
those roads. The more quality stones last, they outlast the garment, if you ask me. You know, most
when you
garments, they start getting the little naps on them, the little, the little cotton balls or whatever on them,
Mhm.
long before the stones fall off.
Yeah, I had a lady try to argue with me in a group one day talking about, I don't care what kind of rhinestones you use. Eventually they all gonna fall off. And I beg to differ. I say, it all depends on how you care for the garment,
Yeah,
right? Because if you care for it and you wash it properly, those stones are not gonna go anywhere.
I'm 10
But if
years
you don't pay attention to the care instructions that you were given on how to care for that garment, then yeah, at that point, yeah, anything is subject to, not be what it was. But then at that point, you can't blame the rhinestone. You got to blame the user.
in.
Mhm.
Because
It's all in how you
I
care
got
for it.
clothes 10 years, 20 years old, still got stones still on them.
Yeah. I'm 13 years in, and I got shirts from day one that still got every stone on it. Now I give my younger brother, a lot of shirts. And he's out there clubbing, and he's out there doing God knows what, people snatching at his clothing and stuff, you know what I mean? So after a couple months, I'll see shirts that I've given him and stones are missing. For one, he's not taking proper care of them. Two, you got people snatching at his clothing. Three, he's probably taking that same shirt uh off and just balling it up and throwing it in the corner somewhere. Where me, I'm I'm taking my shirt off, I'm hanging it up. When I'm washing it inside out. When I'm
Cold
drying
water.
it, yeah, I'm letting it dry inside out. So I take great care of my clothing, to the point to where it's going to stay looking great like day one. But other people who I've sold to or I've given to, not the same. It's not the same. So you're right. It's all about the care and maintenance and how you treat your clothing. Same way with a car, or somebody can say, "But same cars out there, 1999 this and 1999 that, both bought at the same time. You know, 10 years later, this car looked like this, and 10 years later, this car looked like this. You know what I'm saying? The
Mhm.
maintenance, the care, the washing, did it get into an accident and you got it fixed, or did you just say, "Oh, nope, I'm gonna drive it like that"? Same difference.
Exactly, exactly. Well, Chris, I wanted to ask you, I know you were saying earlier about, about your designing and so forth and so on. And I know you said you were interested in taking one of the silhouette classes, but what's your biggest concern? What are you trying to achieve?
Oh, I'm just trying to expand and learn, more with the rhinestones. I know how to make the templates. I know, and like I told you, the one that you had showed where you were saying to get an image and copy, make a
Do
copy of it, and then do it where I'm trying to think of the right word. I can't think of the right word.
do you use a trace feature in Silhouette?
Right. And then when you take it, what's the other word after you copy it and you break it loose? I can't think of the right word right now.
When you release the compound path?
That right there. Because I didn't know that until you showed it in your group.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had told me about another lady to watch to join that group. And I did. And then I went on YouTube and watched one of her videos. I can't think of her name.
Was
But
it?
no,
The
it's
craft?
not Patrice.
It's not
No, because I
Patrice?
follow her.
I know
Yeah,
you.
it's
I know we're in that group together.
I can't think of that
Who is it?
that lady's name, but it was another group that you asked me was I in and invited me, and I got in that group, and it was that lady that I went and watched on YouTube,
Okay.
and that's how I learned it. It was from you because I didn't know, and I'm sure there's other things I don't know. I know how to make a template, but
Right.
I
Right.
didn't know I could do all of that. And then when my sister sent me that picture of Kamala, I just kind of played around with it
Well,
and got it the way that she wanted it, because it wasn't for me, it was my sister that actually wanted that template of Kamala. So when she sent me the picture, I said, now I don't know how long this is going to take me. I worked on that thing for I don't know how long.
I can imagine. Now, Ray, I saw when you posted that the other night, and I said, you know what? I said, I'm gonna ask Ray if he would mind if I go out and get that princess design and see if I can do the same thing in Silhouette
Oh,
or
please
something,
do.
or something similar. Anyway, I know I'm not gonna be able to do it the way you do it in Corel,
I
but
got I got you one even better. I'm gonna send you this one. Like, you know what I mean?
But Ray, I want to ask you a question. Do you have and you too, Tanya, do you have I know you use the Rhinestone software, right? From the Rhinestone world.
Ray does. I have
That's
it,
the,
but I haven't used it.
but
It's
Ray, is it hard to learn?
I would say no, but if you're using another software, like Tanya says all the time, how long
Mhm.
have you been using Silhouette, Tanya?
2 years.
2 years. She's been using Silhouette 2 years, and when you see her work, she's pretty good at it. Like, you know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
Try, trying to uh go from what you always known or always used to learning something new, and not wanting to falter on your workflow. That may be the hardest thing about it. Like, you know what I mean? To where
Mhm.
if you're so used to Photoshop, and you're so used to doing things this way in Photoshop, to grasp Corel Draw and to say, okay, I'm gonna stop using Photoshop today and use Corel Draw from here on out. That's like to say, yeah and no. It can be easy for some if you're starting from scratch and you don't know anything yet. Like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
you learn these tools. Let me see. Let me just jump into it real quick, and not to overwhelm you or anything, but
But I
I
think you're
believe,
right, Ray. That's the impediment for me,
yeah,
right? Is because I know because I didn't know Silhouette at all, right? I was green. I had no clue what Silhouette was,
Me
but I wanted
too.
to learn how to do rhinestones, right?
Mhm.
So that's what my neighbor who crafts was using. And so I said, okay, well, I guess I better go out here and get this. And then I was forced to learn it because it was the only software at the time. Well, I had the shortcuts a lot. No, actually, I bought Silhouette first. It was the only software that I had, and so I had to continue to keep playing around with it. And because of other people's videos and things of that nature, some things started clicking, And then I had a small basis on how to use Inkscape, and so some of the Inkscape technology things are in Silhouette, and
right.
so they clicked. But when I
Mhm.
when I bought the TRW and the Corel Draw and I opened it up, they call things different.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so the difference in the terminology was what was confusing me. And so even though I knew what I should be doing, I didn't know where to go to find it or what it was called. And
Oh.
so I get frustrated. And then I say, you know what? I just go back to silhouette.
I'm gonna stick with what I know, and that's the same way it is for me. Like I'm so proficient in Corel Draw, it's like why would I even attempt to learn something that doesn't do twice as much? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so um that's where I'm at with Silhouette Studio, because I was like, as many people that are not willing to purchase Corel Draw, I'm like, why don't I just jump into Silhouette Studio and me and Tanya could be in there teaching classes together, like, you know what I mean? And then I dove into it and I saw, and I'm like, oh, that seems like twice as much work as Corel Draw. So
Mm-hmm.
to each his own. Like once you get
Right.
comfortable doing something in particular, it may be easier and faster to just continue doing it that way. But I believe that if you're starting off and you're head first into learning Corel Draw, it's not as difficult as it may seem. Like it's just upon looking at it, it's like so much. It's like, oh my God, what does all of this stuff do? And just starting off, you're not even going to use half of it, you know? You're not
Oh,
going
wow.
to use half of it, and it's only there to fake intimidate you, but it's not like, look, check this out. That's what I wanted to show, Tanya. When you did that one the other day, I
Oh, the
was,
Woody Woodpecker?
yeah, the woodpecker, I was like, oh man. And you was like, this is for advanced users or people who know a little bit about the software. I was like, man, when they get a load of this, and I was gonna do it fast, so I was gonna see how fast I can do it. When I click here,
Mm-hmm.
ungroup all of that, and I'm gonna just work on her hair. We're gonna go into place and fill. Let me turn that to 0.075, and I'm gonna hatch fill that. Her hair is done. Boom.
Oh,
Now I'm gonna tell you.
oh,
Right,
wow.
right from the back. Right. Okay. Right from the back. If I were to bring this image into Silhouette Studio, right, the
Yeah.
first thing you would have to do is you would have to copy and you have to trace this image. You have to
Mm-hmm.
trace the image in order to get the vector lines in order for the rhinestones to know where to go, right?
Right.
So, once you trace this image, you're going to have all of these elements, her eyes, her eyebrows, all the lips, the nose, and all of that. And then you got to go back in and you got to subtract or divide parts of the image so that you can get the part that's her hair, right? You got to then create that piece in Silhouette.
Right.
So that you can fill in just that piece.
Right.
And
Okay.
that's what I'm saying.
Like
I know Corel could do. I could have did that image in like 20 minutes. Where
Right.
it took me maybe an hour. And then I had to think about which pieces of the design I needed to do what with in order to make them do what I wanted. And like I said, I figured it out. But that's why I say, if you don't know Silhouette, to try to teach a beginner, no, it's not gonna happen.
Right. 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 And 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 I believe like most people who never try Silhouette and they took my Corel class and they're like, oh my God, are you saying it was that simple? You just hit those two buttons like that, you know what I mean? And it is, at times it is, until you get into more difficult stuff. But for the most part, for the first 3-4 years, I was just doing stuff where I'm just clicking and filling, clicking and filling, clicking and filling. And if it looked good to me, I knew it was gonna look good to them. And I cut it out and I made it. As I got more and more advanced and I wanted it to look more pristine, that's when I started caring. But like this right here,
Now, what happens if you go in and you radio fill her? Because I know you like Hatch, but because it's got more curves in it than
yeah, for sure, for sure. And I do that like on these pieces right here. That'll be where I go into island field.
Oh, the island fill. See, that's the thing. See, Silhouette calls it radial. Corel calls it island. I'm like, what the hell is an island?
Right, right, right. The islands confused me at first, but then once you get into it, you're like, okay, an island that creates an island up under it and creates another island, and you'll do 10 islands out and be like, okay, this island is sitting on top of this island and sitting on top of this island.
Mm.
And like
Yeah.
I'm almost done, you know. If I can go in there and edit a few of these stones, but like I'm pretty much almost done. I'm gonna do an island fill on this tool to get the circles. I'm gonna change that to, I'm gonna do red so you can see it off of that pink. You see, it did it pretty good, except I just need to shift just a couple here. But that's good. That's ready to go. Right here, I'll probably move that one and make one right there. That's ready. And I'll do her hands. I'll probably do a hatch fill here. And because of the way they did it, I probably wouldn't. I'll probably go back and do a island fill right there. But that's how magical that the software is, and how powerful and how fast it is when you first getting started. So I teach people the basics on how to just do the fills. And as you learn more and as you get into more as far as outlines and sublimation and things of that nature, that's when it becomes like, okay, let me take, and you don't even have to take my course. I learned it off of YouTube. Everything that I teach in my class, I learned off of YouTube. Um, uh, Tool by tool by tool by tool. So say I wanted to learn this 2-point line tool. I'll go into YouTube and I'll look at 3 or 4 different trainers 2-point line tool tutorials. Like, and they're going to teach it. They're all going to teach it a different way, but I'm gonna be able to get the gist of it from taking multiple different courses on the same thing. And I'll do it for the Bezier. I'll do it for the 3-point curve. But that's just for me to learn more about CorelDRAW. The wizard in general has everything that you need to do the rhinestones without even knowing how to use CorelDRAW at all. And that's what I liked about it. So my courses are a mixture of both. I'm going to teach you how to learn CorelDRAW, how to learn CorelDRAW, and how to use the wizard to enhance what you know in Corel. I think that's where I bridge the gap between the two.
So is this available just on PC, or can you do it on a Mac?
No, it's not available on the Mac. It's only PC.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, and that's what stopped a lot of people from getting it as well, is that it wasn't available for both. To each his own. To each his own. But I plan on learning more about just design space. I don't wanna use another Rhinestone software, but I want to be able to do more in design space, to where when I saw that hack, I don't know if you saw that hack or if you've ever seen the hack where she takes the rhinestone grid and she pulls it into design space, and then she pulls in her image, and then she uses that rhinestone grid to create the pattern.
Now I had somebody who reached out to me and said that that wasn't all it was cracked up to be.
I
Have
know.
you done it?
I watched it, and I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. I didn't watch it all the way through because I was like, I got my way. Like, you know what I mean? I was just trying to, I was trying to help somebody else along. And I saw the video and I was like, huh, she's saying it works. I watched it and it looked like it could do what it do. So I sent that over as help. But then after I did that, I was like, I'm going to have to learn more about design space, because I don't want to lead people half the way. Like, you know what I mean? Lead people half the way, and then they're over there like, yeah, that wasn't it. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I think the grid works well for things that are more boxy shaped,
Yeah.
right? But if you start working with designs like fonts that have curves and things in them, the grid is going to cut off half of your circle, right? And so then you're going to have to, you know, again, figure out what your placement is going to be, and the you know, so it's the good thing about, at least Silhouette, I think, and Corel or TRW Wizard is that the panel itself is built in such that it determines what that spacing needs to be once you define it between those circles, right? So that you don't have to worry about where they cut off at. It does that for you. Whereas when you go to use this grid, you know, depending on what you're trying to slice out of it, you know, you may have a lot of circles that may wind up being on that angle. You know, like how sometimes when you do the hatch fill, you know, and the hatch fill usually does everything in a linear such, and it staggers your holes on the ends to create your angle if needed. You know, you're going to have to find that manual placement in Cricut, which could potentially throw your whole design off if you start messing around with too many stones.
Right. Okay, I get what you're saying.
You see, so I think, like I said, I think for certain aspects that the grid does work. It's not going to, for very intricate type designing and so forth and so on. I think it has its limitations. But for people who want to just do something on the fly, you know, and create a box named of some sort or whatever, yeah, it's probably the simplest way you can get it done in Cricut without having to have to manually place all your stones, you know.
Right. Mm.
But what's her name? Sweet and Low Cleveland or something like that. She's in the group. Yeah. And she messaged me and she was working with the grid and she told me, she said she didn't think she'd use it again.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I want to play around in there with it more. If I can get a true understanding of how to use design space to design, then maybe I can come up with an easier way for people to actually use it to create rhinestone designs. And it may be a game changer. Like, you know what I mean? Because when I seen the grid thing, I was like, I should try that one day. But me trying that grid and me jumping into Corel Draw doing something was like night and day.
And I saw where Jennifer Maker has a video out there about how to create rhinestone designs using Cricut Design Space. And the design that she showed at least that looked like in the tutorial, it was like a rose of some sort. Now, I hadn't watched the video yet. And, you know, I'm sure we're all familiar with Jennifer Maker. She's pretty knowledgeable about, you know, Cricut Design Space and such. But apparently, I mean, there must be a way that you can do it. And I don't think she had a grid, but I'm not 100%. Have you seen that video, Chris?
I haven't.
Okay. I sent the link to somebody. Ray, if I can find it, I'll send it to you. If you, like I said, I don't know. It might be in one of her tutorial library thing that requires a code but I think I can tell you what the code is. But yeah, like I said, I need to take a look at it and see what it is that she's doing. Because I've noticed that, you know, I'm in her group and I post things from time to time and people act like rhinestones like they never heard of them before.
They sure do.
Like, what is that? Oh my God, you did that? How did you do that? You know, it's like, what rock y'all been under? And then I came across this video where she said, you know, she teaches you how to do rhinestones in Design Space, but you know.
Ladies, I'll be right back. I gotta go use the restroom real quick. I
think most people are used to, you know, they're used to using their Cricuts to do cutting vinyl and making cards and things of that nature that they don't realize that, you know, it can do, depending on which one you have, it can do so much more.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, I enjoy doing the rhinestones. You know, when I first learned how to do that, I was like really excited because it's like, oh my goodness, I always like blingy stuff.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
So, yeah, anything that's shiny or blingy, and my husband thinks that's crazy because when we moved here to Texas, I would be like, can you just drive me downtown so I can see the lights at night? And so he would take me downtown just so I could see the lights because he's from Texas. So
okay.
So he would always take me downtown so I could see the lights at night. But now, you know, it's like with the rhinestones, it makes your clothing very unique because you can create something yourself. And everybody, like you said, somebody can make it one way and you can make it another, you know.
Exactly. I put my stuff on now and I walk out and people are like, oh my God, where'd you get that? Oh, I love that, and I'm
Yeah,
like, I made it, and they go, oh, that's beautiful, whatever. And it sets you apart,
it does.
and again, like I said, even though, like I said, of course I sell templates, I sell my templates or whatever. I don't, you're still not going to get that mass production of stuff like you're going to get when you go and you buy something that you done bought out of Belk's, the Walmart, Target,
Right.
or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's still going to be some uniqueness to that item because not everybody knows how to do this, or not
Right.
everybody is willing to even want to, attempt it.
Yeah, I
Because
really wanted to
it gets
learn.
pricey.
Yeah.
It gets pricey. Um, which is why, like I said, I wish that, folk would, not devalue the value of the rhinestones. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's one thing, like I say, I know, like I say, like Ray has his templates. I have my templates. You price them, to what you think the market will bear. But when you start offering Rhinestone Designs templates for 99 cents,
Yeah, it's time consuming. People don't understand that part though, Tanya. I don't think they understand how time consuming it really is to make a template. I don't think they do. It's
well,
time
and
consuming.
watch Ray do it. Ray show you like it's not really all that time consuming at all.
That's somewhere he got. I'm like, he was whipping
software.
he be whipping them templates out
I
quick.
had to ask him one time, like, Ray, how many templates did you put out in one day? I'm like, it takes me sometimes a week, not a week, but I mean, depending on the design, but then I'm methodical about things sometimes, and I try to, make sure that it's right and so forth and
Right.
so on or whatever. And so, I'm getting better, I'm getting faster, but I'm still learning. So I just taught myself something yesterday, or was it the other day? I was trying to make a Kamala design and I had a star. And so somebody said, oh, can you make the star like the flag inside of the star? And I'm sitting there going to myself, now how in the hell am I going to put a flag inside of the star? Right? But I kept playing around and I'm like, okay, well, I know that a star ain't nothing but a bunch of boxes and lines, right? So start with that concept. So I started with that and I put that inside of the star, and then I started using the tools to slice this and crop that. And eventually when I finished, yeah, I had the flag inside of the star, and I was
There
so
you
proud.
go. I know you were. Don't that make you feel good though? You
It
can
did
sit back and look at something that that you have really made. You can sit back and like, wow.
Until I realized I didn't have the lines for some of the lines for the flag far enough, But I'm like, you know what? That's okay. I just keep doing I'll just go back and undo it and just go back to that point and start from scratch or whatever. But at least now I know, how to do that. And as I started doing that, it gave me the idea of like, okay, when I'm seeing some of these designs, and even in Patrice's class, sometimes she'll have some designs and like the insides of them might be a curve feature or something like that, right? And you be figuring like, how the hell did they curve that line
Right.
in there to get that? But now I have an understanding, it's either the warp tool or, it could be, using some kind of shape to cut things out to create that line and stuff. But, like I said, it's starting to come together, but it takes time,
It does.
But
It
that's why
really
I say again, if you practice, you got to practice in your software, no matter which one it is. And they go, Ray, what you doing now? You getting ready to create a flag inside the star, Ray?
do it, Ray. Do it. Let's see how fast it takes him to get it done.
No, I don't want to see how fast it can be done. No, don't do it.
Do it, Ray. Do it. Like I'm gonna make it anyway.
Ask me another question.
Tanya, look at him go, Tanya.
I'm watching reluctantly. I'm watching, damn it.
I'm just gonna weld this all together.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on, wait a minute. And we're gonna power clip on the side of there.
And I'm gonna say, that's somewhat basically like what I did to some extent with a little extra effort, but yeah.
Tony, I was gonna say, I know you figured it out. I know you did.
And the only part I haven't figured out yet was how to do the stars, because like I said, the stars don't, when I try to make them turn that piece of the star into a rhinestone, they like the stones don't they're too, they don't quite fit. I mean, they don't, they don't look like stars when I turn the rhinestone panel on.
Right, right. See, what I would do personally, me, is I would just boom.
Oh, just one stone. I thought about that. Just make one stone
But that's
in
enough.
the thing between the to make it a star. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see though. Because it's all about size. So let me see how big this star is. I might have made this star way too big, and that's how I was able to do it. Let me see. I mean, it's 13 inches by 10. That would be good for a back of a shirt. Let me go smaller though. Let's go 11.4.
Yeah, let's like work like as if we were always working in Cricut design space and stuck with the limitation of 11.5 inches.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, boom. So that's not bad.
So you still
Let me see if I can get, I might be able to get 5 in there to make it look like a star, and then I'll just copy those 5. I can do it. I can do it.
that's kind of ooh.
I'm gonna equal space it. I'm gonna equal space it here. Okay, boom. So it works with that spacing right there.
It's
And
kind
I'm
of tight.
making, let me see, what did I put it at? Did I put it at 11.4? Let me
I
see.
think that one on the right is, like I said, because it all depends too, right, on your cutter.
Yeah.
Some cutters can cut really precise, and you may not get that to tear, but then another cutter might cut that, and then when you go to pull it off the mat,
Yeah.
there you
Right.
go.
Right.
Mhm.
So my cutter, I've been able to get it that tight, but I
But I
can't
bet
do
you
it
could
like,
move that one. I bet you could move that one to the right over a little bit.
yeah, right here, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But what I realized is it'll cut this tight, but the whole design can't be this tight. Like this cluster right here, that's cool. This cluster right here, that's cool, but it can't be like the whole thing tight like that because it's gonna rip.
Right.
Little spaces like this, like that star would have cut out fine. You know what I mean? And you got to realize I'm doing one star at a time when I'm weeding, so it's gonna be like boop 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 versus trying to do the whole thing and then it just start ripping and tearing on you. Like,
That's you because you know better. But somebody else would go to cut that and they would want to rip the whole thing off as one piece.
right.
Mhm.
So I was just listening in, and then I was like, I'll be every chance I can. I'll try to show the power of it, cause
So basically what you would do, Ray, is what you're doing is you just use the flag as a grid for you to be able to place your stones, and
yeah,
then you take the grid part away, and then that'll be that's the template.
yep. I'll probably take all of these blues, I'll weld them, and then I'll chop them through through my actual heart. I'll trim them through, so that way I'll trim this pink part through too. Uh, oh, that's not welded yet. Okay. Oh, my goofy ass had already power clipped the pink inside of the black because I was just trying to show y'all.
Mm.
Mhm.
So I would probably now move all of this over. Boom. Move the blue over. Boom. And as you can see, I can't move the pink over because now the pink is part of the star.
Mm.
So I'll probably just smart fill that all the way in, push it to the back, and then ungroup this, like power, extract the contents of the power clip. Boom. Move that over. Boom. And then use this pink shift. And then I'm gonna move that over. See, now I got my heart.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll move my stars back in. But then I would do the stars, each one, until I got the rhinestones. Because I wouldn't be using this part here. Those will be over here. So it'll just be star, 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 star. And then I'll probably do these lines over here. I'll place and fill, hatch fill that. Boom. And so it'll be, and that'll be, of course, a different color. And then my stars will be over here. Dum, 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 dum.
Now, how would you get the white? How would you get the coordinated white line above the ones where you currently have them filled in hatch filled? What about the?
Right
Would
here?
you do anything with so the space is above the lines?
Yeah.
The empty space. What would you do with that?
That would be another, essentially another color of rhinestones.
Mm-hmm.
And we got that right here. But
Oh,
of course, we will have to section off which part we want. I'm bringing those over here. And I'll probably do that by, come on, man. Whenever I'm doing a training or of some sort and trying to do it like this, my zoom be wonky. I gotta go real slow, not so fast. All right. So it's this part here.
Right.
Yep. Push this to the back. All right. We need these stars to chop through there, through the pink. And we just want that area of the pink. And I'll probably take this star and chop it through that pink. Hold on, wait a minute. I gotta get my train of thought. It's all about the train of thought. Let me put this in front. So we gotta realize what pieces we need. We need these pieces.
Right. We want the black pieces of the lines.
Yeah, we want the pink part of the heart. So let's try it like this. And we're going to intersect. I believe that's it. Not a trim. Hold on, let me see. Not a weld. I believe it's an intersect. I think that's it. Let me see here. I mapped it.
There it is.
Yep.
Well, no, what
No,
it
it's
did
not.
was it gave you that see, I had the same issue in Silhouette. I had to figure out what I needed to do in order to get the in-between line. And it was either a difference, but I can't remember. You got intersect and you got like what's the other one? Like mine, we have the divide feature and then we have the subtract feature.
right.
And I think I had to divide in Silhouette.
Yeah.
So that it gave me, like what it did was it divided that whole thing, the overlap that I had that over the top.
Yep.
It divided that from the star, but left me all the other individual pieces. And then I was able to turn each of the pieces that I wanted into the rhinestone part that I needed.
All right, here we go. I just decided to do it this way, where I take my 2-point line and I'm gonna just start right here. Boom. Take another 2-point line this way. Boom. Take another 2-point line this way. Boom. Take another 2-point line this way. Take another 2-point line this way. Another one this way. There we go. It should be filled in now. Nope. We need one more right here. One more 2-point line from here to there. Now, I'm gonna change this color to purple, and I should be able to just smart fill this area here. It's still open somewhere. Hold on. We got to make sure this area right here is closed off all together. And I believe all of them are touching. Okay, except for here. This area right here. This line needs to touch that line. And I didn't do this
And
line.
that,
Yep. So one more where it connects here. And then one more where it connects here. Now I should be able to smart fill it. Still not touching. Oh, look, right here. One more here. Now, okay. I should be able to click on this and fill it in. It's not letting me fill it in.
is it waiting? Is that where the circle is it thinking?
Yeah, but I still don't think that I connected it all together. Oh, there it is. Okay. There it is. I was about to say, come on now. Whenever I'm trying to show off something, it don't want to show off for me. But there it is. So now that we got it filled in, I'll push it to the back and I'll just use this to chop through there. Oh, you see? So my heart wasn't filled in. My star wasn't filled in all the way. It was just this bottom piece. There we go. I'm gonna chop through that, trim through that. And now we just have that section there for our second color stones. But also we want to chop this blue through there as well so that you got that indentation in there. And now we're left with this. Boom. And that's the other piece for the place and fill, hatch fill. Let's move. I'm gonna move this over here. So we supposed to just hatch fill this part. Place and fill, inside hatch fill. You see what it's doing to me, Tanya? Why is the hatch fill in the opposite part? That's okay. Because we made that piece. So I'm gonna convert that to an image. I'm gonna convert it back to a vector. And it should work now. If not, then I'm defeated right now. Because I'm like, what is going on? So it should convert it back to a bitmap and then back to a vector. And now we should be able to fill in that gray area with ease.
I'm surprised it actually did that. I mean, how many colors does it think it sees? I only see one color.
Right.
But I guess it could have been taken in different hues of the pink where you cut and, you know,
But then all of those stars are in there too. So watch this. I click on a star. The star is there. So it did all of those stars as separate vectors. And then it did like these areas right here that were closed in as separate vectors. But we don't need none of this. We just need this piece. And we're going to hatch fill that. There it is. Now I did the right part. So I guess the way that I created that star in the sense of using the lines to create the star, then did the hatch fill and all of that, I did do a lot and I guess it got confused when I went to hatch fill it to where it was like it didn't know where it wanted to put the stones.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course I mean I was just doing it quick and fast. I didn't do it straight and narrow. I didn't even use a straight flag. I just
Grab something, right?
yeah. But that came out great, you know, in what
Mhm.
10, 15 minutes.
Yeah. Turn the background of the media like black or something, just so I can see it better.
I'm gonna go white for you.
Oh. Yeah.
But pick up my lines. Oh yeah, that looks good.
But my star looks somewhat, almost looks like that.
just,
I had to
imagine
go
if I
about
would
it
have
a different.
completed
I
the
had to go
yellow
about it
right
a
here.
different way, but I mean, I'm like Chris was saying earlier. I am proud of myself for being able to kind of, like I said, work it through. You know, without having, you know, like I said, just to be able to say that even if you can't make the major investment, right, in the software that would allow you to do this in 20 minutes, you know,
Right.
if you have software that has the capabilities,
Yeah,
you can still do it. You just
Mhm.
got to know how to use the software.
and that's what I love about Rhinestone University is that we have a Tanya there, you know, who's proficient enough in Silhouette to where it's not just my way. I want somebody in there teaching shortcuts to like 5. Like you know what I mean? Like I want somebody
Yep.
in there teaching uh
Sierra Hotfix. I
Fear
mean, you
Hotfix.
know,
Like you know what I'm saying? It would be great if there were other people that would step up to the plate to where I don't want people to think Corel Draw is the only way. I don't want people to feel like uh unless I buy that $769 program, I'm never gonna learn it. No, that's not the case. And like
Mhm.
I want people to be able to know that what I can do that in Affinity on my iPad, like, and I want those people who know how to do that, like you know what I mean, to step up and be like, I did this in Affinity on my iPad, and here's how, like you know what I mean.
well, you know what I would, you know, and I know it's Rhinestone University, Ray, and I know that, you know, that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, the draw to TRW Wizard is not just the rhinestone panel, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is the live templates that you can edit that TRW has on their website that you can then, if you want to do decals or whatever you want to do, he's taken the work out of having to recreate that design with those live templates and using the TRW Wizard to allow you to just alter the text only. And
Yeah, that
still,
part.
that is the part, that is the investment. The investment is, it's not just the rhinestones, it's all the other things that you can do with the wizard
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you wouldn't otherwise have, you would have to recreate from scratch every time you did something.
It has the mock-up generator built in there. It's got the pricing calculator. Like it's so much that they added on to it for it to be at the price point of $769. You're right. You know.
And
Uh,
the 769 is really, I mean, it also includes the copy of Corel Draw, the
yeah,
2018 version of it. Because I got the 20, I think I got the 2019 or 2020 version. I don't know. I got the one that it wound up costing me $819 because I got the more upgraded Corel Draw
right.
version that was available. But you know, I got it because, like I said, I knew that the value of the software wasn't just for me to do the rhinestones. It was for me to do the other things that TRW also has in conjunction on their site with some of the templates that you can buy from them. Because I do decals for cars and things of that nature. And I wanted to branch out and do more. You know, like he said, you know, throw a fundraiser, go to one of your the area high schools or, you know, elementary schools or whatever, and pitch to the idea of doing these you know, a fundraiser for decals. Easy peasy. I mean, they don't take a whole lot of material and don't take a whole lot of time to do. But you get one, and you know, he's already got hundreds of designs already out there. He's already done the work for you.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Since you brought that up about like the car decals, can you do them with Cause I don't know. I think I've watched one video with, what's his name? Matt from the Rhinestone TRW. How do you do the ones that are car decals with the rhinestones on them? Do you have to use, I mean, what
You
kind
have
of?
So you have to get their material called
Rhinestone anything, bling anything.
bling anything. Yeah,
But
and
then,
it's because
but then
that's
like,
how I actually got started. That's what me and my girlfriend were gonna do. We were gonna make rhinestone decals.
Yeah.
but you know, Tanya, you just gave me a good idea when you said that about like the schools and stuff, like the schools here, to make like their logo for cars.
Yep.
That was a perfect idea for you. You just threw that out and I caught it quickly. So I was like, wait a minute. But how do you get the color to shine through? That I guess that's my thing. Like
You're
So
one of the
basically,
what happens is the
taking
rhinestones
it.
sit on top.
Yeah, the rhinestones sit on top, and it's basically you're taking adhesive and placing adhesive on the bottom, and then taking that adhesive to where you can place that adhesive on the wall or another type of
Laptop
substrate.
or any kind of hard substance, you know, whatever. Yeah. That's basically what it is. It's basically like, you know, it's just like the HTV anything that they have, right? So that you can take HTV that you normally would only be able to put on fabric, and now he's figured out a way for you to put HTV on tumblers and mugs and all kinds of other stuff with this adhesive material that he's created.
So
But
you're basically cutting the adhesive material in reverse to create that template that then the rhinestone template is going to sit directly on top of. So you're creating like a mask reverse sticker, you know what I mean? That you can basically apply to anything.
Yeah, because I think the one video I saw him do, he had it on top of HTV, like glitter HTV.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. See, y'all helped me. I'm so glad I was sitting here and you said that.
The
I'm gonna
crazy
try
thing
it.
is, I haven't even tried it yet, but I've seen the video enough to where I'm like, okay, that's all they're doing is they got this super strong bond that you can cut out with your cutter, and then that's going to be your placement for wherever you're putting your rhinestones at.
Yep.
Okay.
That's
I'm gonna
exactly
try
it.
that.
And
So,
Ray, I seen one of your tutorials where you took one of his live templates and you changed the text in it.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was you were doing in the video. Maybe it was a decal of some sort. But I know there was a guy in the video with you.
Yeah, I think it was. I was doing a decal for him that he was going to use, but I was just more so showing off the power of the
RW, the
template.
wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the good thing, like I said, and the other thing about it is, like I said, so yeah, it's that cost, but with it also comes what he gets you. Lets you pick 5 different packs of whatever you wanted to pick to go with the software. You could get along with it, so you're getting additional things that would allow you to expand upon your business once you buy the software. So it's not just like you're buying the software and that's all you get. You get other stuff with it that would allow you to expand your business right out the box.
Yeah.
So I mean, for $800, if you committed and you spent the $800 or $769, whichever way you want to go with it, you can pick these packs, whether it be rhinestones, some of his live templates. He's got the live templates where you can do the baby dates, the people are doing the baby dates on, and you got that, you got rhinestones, you got the decals, he's got a ton of different stuff that you can pick from that would allow you to start making money day one after you learn how to use the software.
Yeah. But with the templates though, learning the software, if you started off with the templates, I didn't get into the templates till I was 7, 8 years in. You know what I mean? If I started off with those templates on day one, it's like, okay, click here, change this name, click here, change this text, click here, change this. And even if I wasn't doing rhinestones, just cutting out vinyl, I would have been light speed ahead of where I was at. Like, you know what I mean? Like light speed ahead of where I was at. So,
and I will share, if you're gonna buy stuff from the Rhinestone world, buy it around the holidays when they put stuff on 70% off. They don't now. You ain't gonna get the Corel Draw is probably in the TRW Wizards about the cheapest you're ever gonna find it, because I had been watching it for about a year. almost 2 years before I bought it.
Yeah.
And that price was the lowest that I had ever seen it. But like I said, if you know, there are things that, you know, you decide you want to get from there.
Holiday season.
70% off, and usually at the Black Friday, at Christmas time. I think right now he might be at 60% off, but I know he'll go as high as 70% off on his the things that you can purchase from them.
Yeah, also around the holidays, but you have to already have bought the level. Like they're at the highest level right now, unless they come out with 6 anytime soon. But like I was at 2.14 for the longest, and then he did a holiday sale on the upgrade, not the whole software, but the upgrade. So if you were on the lower level, he did software upgrades for like 100 to 150. And
Oh, wow.
that was
And
game changing.
he does have a tutorial program, right? Where you get, was it like 10 videos? It's 10 videos that you can purchase. And I think I bought it for like $100, but it teaches you how to use Corel, how to use the wizard for the rhinestones, along with all the other stuff that is you can do with it. So, you know, I mean, I have the tools and I got access to Ray and such. Like I said, I've just gotten lazy. But I don't know, like I said, just watching this little bit of what Ray did today with Princess Daisy over there and that star starting Corel Draw, you know. And like I said, I just bought Sierra Hotfix. But I bought the Sierra Hotfix because it had fill patterns in it that I thought would be like, you know, very useful to have. Because like Ray, you know how you was producing those templates where you were doing the shirts and they had the little spirals in the sleeves and all of that. They have fill patterns that will automatically fill in, you know, whatever.
Patterns like that. Oh,
Yes.
That's slick.
They got a ton of them. I mean, some of them will come with the pro software when you buy it. Some of them are add-ons that you have to buy later. But I mean, it's another one of those like game changing. Like if you want to create designs that nobody else is creating, yeah. Now, of course, it's made to use in conjunction with the CAMS machines and the Spangle machines from Cold Desi and all of that other stuff. But you can convert your designs into SVGs that you can then import into your cutters.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh man, I was working on this design for this lady and
you lost it?
I was so quick. Hold on, let me show y'all. I was so quick to get ready to start packing for vacation. I came back and this is what I got. I'm like, that's the one she said she did not like. And I could have swore I started a page 2. Could have swore I brought in I know it was a heart.
See, Silhouette would have saved that in your unrecovers. You wouldn't have lost. It automatically saves all your work, whether you save it or not, in your unrecovers. Kind of like so Microsoft. Good. And it has been a lifesaver on more than one occasion.
Yes, I agree with you on that one. It's so true.
Now, Ray, are these just designs or images that you have saved over the years on your hard drive?
Yes, I'm an image hoarder. Sometimes I spend the rest of my day going in there just trying to find images that I can use. And I'm looking for this heart. It was a Starburst heart that I had saved because she was like, she didn't like the heart that I chose. And it may not even be here, it may be in my downloads.
Now, while you're searching for that, let me ask you a question. Somebody in the group, her name was Tanya too. She showed a picture of a design similar to the Cat Williams card that you did.
Yeah.
But she had it on the back of a hoodie.
Right.
What size do you make that? What
So
size? I mean, what size would you use to make that? Like I said, if you didn't have to worry about the limitations of Cricut design space.
yeah, I sublimated that. So I started off with a 13 by 19-inch sublimation sheet. So
Okay.
yeah.
Because hers wasn't sublimation. I mean, her whole design was rhinestones from the. I mean, I asked her how many rhinestones was in the design. She hadn't responded back, but I know it had to been over 20,000 rhinestones in that design. It was just, it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous.
Right.
It was Kansas City Chiefs made to look like a playing card.
Oh, wow.
On the back of a hoodie, yes, or back of a sweatshirt maybe, but it was gorgeous.
See, also a lot of people got to realize that you don't have to cut the whole rhinestone design out at once. You know what I mean? You can break it into pieces and then piece it back together. So if it's bigger than 11 and a half, let's say you're trying to cover the whole back of a hoodie, and you measure out the hoodie, and the hoodie is 24 inches in width by 32 inches in height. Like your design, let's say this right here was hypothetically, let's say if it was 14 or 16 inches in width by 12 inches in height, I would just choose like this pink part. There it is right there. You know, I would have to cut out this piece separately and then cut out this piece separately, like, you know what I mean? And then piece them where they would go back onto the jacket if it was bigger than 11 and a half.
The only problem with that too, and I will tell you, like I said, with Cricut, like see in Silhouette, and you probably get this feature where you can rotate your design so that you can cut on the long end of the paper.
Yeah.
You can't rotate the design unless they've changed something. Like Cricut sometimes won't let you rotate.
Oh.
Right.
So that you can, like they'll let you do it, like sometimes, well, let me see. There is a way that you can, like vinyl, but Krista, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes Cricut won't let you rotate the design
they
so that
won't.
you can print it lengthwise versus widthwise.
Right. That's true.
Yeah, that's where I would just separate it. What I mean, separate it is just cut out just this piece right here.
Right.
Or just cut out just this piece without worrying about turning it, because it's only 2 inches in height by 9, so it fits.
Right, it would fit.
Itself.
Right.
But all of it together, if it was 16 inches, it wouldn't fit. So I would just choose to cut this piece by itself and then cut this piece by itself. You're wasting a lot more flock, but you're trying to cover a bigger area without having a bigger machine or a bigger flock. I started breaking my designs into pieces, and it works because you got to remember, I got a 24-inch cutter over here, and I'm designing designs that's I want to work for y'all for 11 and a half inches. So I started having to really break it up, but I didn't want to break up the size of the design. I still wanted it to cover the back of a hoodie. I didn't want to make it small to where now it's too small to where it didn't look how I wanted it to look.
Y'all, I gotta hop off. It was a pleasure to get on here and visit with both of you, but I got a call coming, so I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for all your information.
All right. Be sure to catch me daily, because I'm doing a lot more of these where I'm just jumping on and just, hanging out with the group members.
Okay, I sure will. Thank you, Ray and Tanya. Talk to you guys later.
All right, now.
Thank you so much for your time, Ray. I know you've been on for a couple of hours. You ready to go?
Oh yeah, I'm about to call my girl back. She's on her break, and like I said, I'm about to be doing this daily, just to create more interaction in the group, have more people jump on, and so they don't have so much fear. I think a lot of people got fear. They're scared to share. They're scared to be be laughed at, and we're not here to laugh at anybody. We're here to help. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly, exactly. You know,
Yeah,
I just, like I said, I just there's no need to tolerate that, if you don't like something, just keep your opinion to yourself.
yeah,
Unless you plan on offering, what I say again is that constructive feedback.
right,
What could they do to make it, oh, that looks really good. As a suggestion, you might could try this XYZ, see how you feel about that or whatever. But, just downright, discourage somebody by being negative on their posts is just, I don't appreciate that.
yeah. I don't think I've seen it yet, though. Not here, and
No,
not in
no,
Rhinestones or us.
not yet. And I be trolling the site when I'm on it, to try to make sure that, I don't see stuff like that, or I don't see posts trying to come through that, would be something that wouldn't be of benefit, to the group. So yeah. But no, so far so good. So far so good.
Only thing I've seen in Rhinestones or us, like I say, that I'm trying to put a stop to it is those overseas or those foreign sellers who keep trying to advertise their rhinestones in the group without a real price sheet. Like, you know what I mean? Y'all can
Well, I mean,
advertise, huh?
well, when I see them, I mean, like I said, now that you put it out there, and they usually post those things late at night when that's usually when I'm up, because that's when I'm, doing my stuff. But if I see them and they don't follow the criteria, then I will decline it, and you get a message like one time. I'm not gonna keep messaging you every time you post something to tell you what the rule is.
Right.
You get one time to get it right, and if you don't want to get it right, because they're not just in your group, they're everywhere, and
Everywhere.
this,
Yeah.
they're everywhere. And I think, I think one or two of them really are on the up and up or whatever, and probably would offer, some pretty decent stones to people or whatever. But like you said, let's just be transparent about it,
Yeah. I would love, for us to have a place actually in the group, or to have a confidant person where we can I mean, I've thought about selling
Like
rhinestones.
approved vendors and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
approved vendors. Cause I've thought about selling rhinestones, and I was like, yeah, it could be profitable, but then that's just me more so upselling. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just me taking the shipping into consideration, going to look, I've already done it. I've already went and got the little baggies. I was going to create my own little labels, you know what I mean? And I was like, do I really want to go through and sell 10 gross bags when I would rather sell 50 gross bags or higher? Like, I mean,
Well,
50 gross.
I think what you do, like I say, if you decide you want to go that route, right? Because that's what I told you I'm doing, right? I
Yeah,
mean, I'm looking at them right now. I went and I bought, like I said, $4,000 worth of rhinestones, and all in 500 gross bags, because that's the smallest bag size you could get. But I didn't. And I know I probably went overboard and got colors that nobody even heard of before. But I I want to try them. I want to see what they're like. I want to,
yeah,
and I have them out on my website, and I'm selling them in the 10, 25, 50, and 100 gross bags, right? For those people who would normally buy stones from Amazon, and I did it that way because I had so many different colors. If people wanted to just try something, they might not feel so bad about spending $6 or $7 on a 10 gross bag to try out whether or not they like that color,
right,
than to invest, $30 in a 100 gross bag or 250 gross bags and then realize I don't even like this color,
right.
you know.
Yeah,
So, but I do think that, like I said, if you had, because again, as people start realizing what the group is about and where they know they can go and get, you probably would get people that would, that would buy from you, or whether it be from you and me, or, whether you had a few other approved people in the group, be like, look, I've already vetted these people. I know where they get their stone from. I've checked their quality. I know when you buy something from them, you're not going to have a problem. I can't guarantee you if you buy something from somebody else, what you may or may not get,
right,
right? Once you start developing that level of trust in the group, then that's what people will do. They will just come and they will buy. And even if your stones were more expensive, they still would, because they know exactly what it is they're going to get every single time.
Right, right,
You know, but it's about that, you know, right now, like I said, there's so many places and so many groups where people are trying to scam folk, where people don't know who to trust. And
right.
so they tend not to do anything. But people are asking all the time, where you buy your rhinestones from? Where you buy your rhinestones from? And every time I turn around, I see people keep sending people to Be Createful. You know who she is on Etsy.
Yeah, yeah.
I got somebody that I sell stones to. She told me, said my stones look better than hers.
Right, right, right.
She claiming she got these luck stones and blah 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 and this and this and that, and they might be, and they could very well be. I don't know,
Yeah,
but what
yeah.
I do know is that most people who are selling rhinestone apparel, right, know that they either have customers who are willing to pay, or customers who ain't willing to pay, or customers who are on the fence. And most of the majority of people are usually those that are on the fence. And as soon as you tell them that you want $75 for that rhinestone t-shirt, they're gonna look at you and they're gonna turn the opposite direction. But if you told them that same rhinestone shirt, you could sell it to them for $35 or $40, they might would be willing to buy it, right? So you say to yourself, okay, well, I'd much rather have the $35, $40 sale than no sale,
Right.
right? And so if that means that I have a lesser quality rhinestone, meaning like maybe I have low leads, right? Versus no lead. There's
Right.
not much quality difference between a low lead and a no lead, except for the fact that the no leads have no lead, right? So you can market them as such, as being a safer rhinestone,
Right.
but the quality as far as the sparkle you're going to get on them is just as good as the no lead. So my thing is, go ahead and invest in a good quality no lead that's not going to cost you an arm and a leg out of pocket to buy in bulk, and then sell that to your customer at a fair price, right?
Yeah.
You ain't, like I said, you ain't got to gouge people. You can still make money because, like you said, you know, a bag of crystal 500 gross bag might cost you, you know, $20, right? Plus shipping if you got it from overseas. So technically the bag winds up costing you close to like $45. But look how many you got 100 grosses in a $25 bag. So
Right.
if you sold a 100 gross bag for $25, even $30 plus shipping, you still gonna make 3 times, 4 times over the amount than what you paid for it.
Right. Right.
You're gonna make money.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I just think that, you know, if you keep the prices, because I'm rethinking this now as far as like, you know, what prices I currently have. Now, those specialty stones, I'm all about it, you know, your standard color, and I'm gonna let you go. You know, your standard color stones that you can ride readily on Amazon or whatever. My thought process is, if in order to be competitive, you got to be selling your stuff pretty much the same way they selling it on Amazon and all these other places, right? Because if people know they can go to Amazon and get a hundred gross bag of stones for $20, then you need to sell 100 gross bag of stones for $20, right? The difference is that they're only selling certain colors in a 100 gross bag. They're not selling every color in a
Right.
100 gross bag, right? So what you do is the stones that you can't readily buy, those are the ones that you can price a little bit higher, right? Because they're specialty stones and you can't get them everywhere. And while somebody is already on your site buying your $20 bag of stones, now they can go and say, ooh, I'd like to try those silver rim stones, or ooh, I'd like to try those gold rim stones, or ooh, they got glow in the dark, so I want to try that. So now
Yeah.
you got to upsell to the sale that you would have already had. And then once you can get that customer in the door, chances are they'll continue to keep coming back to buy from you.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
So if you ever decide that you want to, you know, go in that venture or whatever, and you're looking to partner with somebody or whatever, you know, like I said, think of me, because like I said, I'm already in the market,
Right.
you know, and so I know what's involved, and you know, I got a good vendor, you know, I think my stones are pretty good quality, you know, as far as you know, sparkle and shine. I know that there are probably some places that are better, but I'm trying to keep my stuff affordable.
Right. Most definitely. That's where it's at.
So, yeah. So where you going on vacation real quick?
I went on vacation already. I went to Fort Wayne for for my girls' family reunion. So I was
Oh, okay.
gone Friday, Saturday, and we came back late Sunday last night.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard you say you were going on vacation. You needed to get ready to pack.
No, that was this past weekend, so I'm back already. And
Okay.
I'm ready for this week. So
Yeah, I saw you got a class you're trying to do on Saturday. I think I'm gonna try to do another class on Saturday, but
Yeah, they can be a lot, but then you got to realize one class, every class turns into residual income that you can then monetize, you know?
Well,
So,
what do you plan on doing? Do you plan on charging? If so, let's say for instance, because I thought about this, is say, okay, if you've taken one class with me and you've paid the $50, and you need to come back for a refresher,
right.
do you still want to charge your people $50, or do you want to charge your repeat customers something different? Or
Okay.
would you, or had you considered that?
I hadn't considered that. What I considered was, so it's always been $50 for the class. And if we're doing a one-on-one, then that one-on-one progresses into what you already know. Let's capitalize on that and get you higher. But
Mm-hmm.
for each individual, for each class setting, um, I've been I liked it how you, Joanna, like, cause y'all were like 3 weeks in to where we were able to progress from a beginner level, teach more stuff, and then teach more stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
as I host each and every class and new people come in, it's always a beginner level. So to combat that, uh, it's always going to be a beginner level because we're going to always get those new people who want to learn. But
Right.
for those people who are already past that, that's where the membership comes in at. You know what I mean? The membership comes in to where you can set aside your time to actually put together those licensed scheduled training. So here's 1.1, and then here's 1.2, then here's 1.3 and 1.4, and I can sell you that package for $75, which is going to be the intermediate level, and then which is going to be the beginner level, and then the next level is 5 courses of the intermediate, and then the next one is 5 courses of the advanced. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay.
Because I
Well,
like how you got it. A lot of people be like, "Oh, I just want to buy the recording. I just want to buy the recording of the class."
but that's what I was going to ask you. Had you ever thought about selling recordings of some of your classes, even at a reduced rate, just to get people's feet wet?
Yes, yes, yes. I have, but I want it to be like a more streamlined recording. Like, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
where I'm not
Right,
on
not where
there.
you all over the place.
Yeah, yeah.
Right,
So where I'm
right,
not
right.
on there with 3 people. It's just me, and I recorded it step by step to sell. Like, you know what I mean?
Mhm,
I
mhm,
love it.
mhm.
I love it when I'm on there with somebody because when I'm on there with somebody, they sort of help me to move along, or they sort of help me to help them to what is most important to them. But what's
But there,
most important to them is not what's most important to everybody. You know what I mean?
that's true. But I will say too that sometimes people ask questions that you might not think of
Might not
asking,
think of. Yeah,
and it only comes out on the group trainings that those questions get asked and answered. And
yeah,
so, it's almost like, the video becomes, it's even more valuable because now, they have this information that they may not have gotten if you had just did the tutorial teaching them the steps by step, because you're only going to outline what's in those steps,
right.
right?
Yeah,
Now, granted, if they have a question, then they can come back and be like, well, the next time we have a class, we can answer that question and you can take this class and that makes you more money. But I was just thinking about that. I was like, I wonder if Ray had thought about, taking any one of his classes that he had done that was pretty on point or whatever, and then just telling people, be like, look, if you're not sure whether or not you want to take a one-on-one or whether or not you want to be in a group class setting, you want to just kind of do this at your own pace, at your own time, whenever, here's a recording, you could buy it, whether it be $25 or whatever it is,
yeah,
just to, again, create another stream of revenue that comes in for work that you've already done that you don't have to keep continuing to do.
yeah,
And maybe what you do is you say, hey, if you buy this, you get access to this video recording, for $25, if you have extra, I don't know, you could structure it where, if you have questions, I don't know, you might could, I don't know, like I said, because that could tie you in. Because I know once people get a hold of your inbox, they act like, you supposed to be at their beck and call.
yeah.
Um, but but I have found, like I said, I did that. I had like I had about four or five people that had bought one of the videos, the replay that I did, you know, as a
Yeah.
replay. And you know, I've had a few people take classes. You know, I get a lot of people, of course, to say they're interested to take the class, and then when you tag them and you tell them, you know, it's time for class, they don't show up, or they don't
Right.
want to buy it. But it's okay, you know. Like I said, I'm one of those people. Like I said, you know, little bit here, little bit there. People keep talking it up, and people say, oh yeah, she does know what she's talking about, or hey, yeah, she did help me, or whatever. And you know, more people will come, or you know, what have you. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's really not about the money. It's about trying to help people and get them to where they feel more comfortable in doing this. So, you know, like I said, if you run out, you know, you have ideas or I have ideas, you know, like I said, I run them by you. If you want to run something by me, you know, you want to collaborate some more or whatever and figure out how we can really make this like a university where we're teaching people and see if we can find, like you said, some other people out there who are doing this that would be willing to, like I said, you know, let's pull our knowledge together or whatever, because that's what they're doing in these AI groups.
Yeah.
And this group ain't no different what these excuse me, what these AI folk are doing.
Right.
And they making money hand over fist.
Yeah, for sure.
Building their groups to over 100,000 people. There's no reason why you couldn't build this group to the same level, right? And be offering the same level of services to these to folk, to allow them to do the same thing, make money.
Make money, yeah.
With a different product.
Yeah, I've made it this far, and I never would have imagined that I would have made it this far. So the sky's are the limit from here, like you know what I mean. And like I said, I'm gonna start doing this daily, like you know what I mean. In my free time, when I don't have nothing else to do, I'm jumping on here and just to let people know that you know we are real people. You know, we are here to help. You know, it's not always about pay to learn. Like you know what I mean. I want people to be like, wait a minute, he was just on there showing us how to use these free files that are in the group. I didn't even know were there. Like, and then they start diving in, getting comfortable with the free files, and in return, that turns into more money for us because they're more reluctant now. They're more in tune to buy our files from our Etsy's. Like
exactly. Yeah. But I also want to tell people, like I said, this is not a dump site. It's not a SVG dump, you know, video dump and all of that other stuff, you know, because what I find that you probably see it too, is that in a lot of these groups where people say, you know, Rhinestone Designs for free. Well, then all of a sudden they expect for you to tell them shit and help them with shit for free.
Right.
And
right.
That's not the case. You know, it takes time to do this work. There's a reason why you know, like I said, if everybody could do it, then everybody would be doing it.
Right.
Everybody can't afford the software to be able to do it. So I can't just give my services to you for free all the time. You got to be willing to pay for something some of the time.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so I definitely wouldn't want to see the group go in that direction, because like I said, I've seen it in other groups and I've left other groups for that same reason. The same thing I posted in your, when I messaged you, to say that people are willing, that they want to take advantage of your time. And I removed that post because, like I said, it wasn't about, and what people fail to realize, they're jumping all over me like I'm the bad person here, right? Oh, you didn't give her enough time to respond to you. But I'm like, the only thing I was asking for her to say is thank you.
Thank you.
To thank me for the time that I spent. How dare you? Somebody said, how dare you respond to her at 2 o'clock in the morning? Well, did it ever occur to you that the only time I had to work on her project was at 2 o'clock in the morning? I should be in the bed sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning, but what am I doing? I'm helping her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you jumping all over me like I'm the person that ate lick the life of your Kool-Aid or whatever. I'm like, come on now, people.
Her not to respond just goes to show that a lot of people do join this group and other groups just for the handout. Like, you know what I mean? And this isn't a handout group. We're a help along group. Like, you know what I mean? We're here to help people along the way. And by being a part of this community, there's free handouts. There's thank you for being here type of things. Like, you know what I mean? I appreciate everyone for being here. So that's where the free designs come from. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like the knowledge that you impart, the little tidbits of stuff that you share, you know, just like I said, if you're savvy enough, you catch on, just like Christelle caught on today. She's like, oh, he said so and so and so, or she said such and so. Okay, that's free information, but you would have to go and research someplace else.
Mm-hmm.
right? We readily gave that information to you, these nuggets of stuff that you can then take and do something with them, you know. But again, like I said, you know, this idea that you can just use people to get what you want, and then, you know, there's nothing to be given in return. No, I don't think so.
Right, right.
You know, like I said, if you knew, like I said, you cheap, I'm cheap. It's people out there charging $150 for a class.
Yeah,
$150 for a beginner's class, and you charge $50.
yeah. And I was trying to get the price down even lower than that, you know, because I really want people to be like, okay,
No, but you know what? You already getting less than the $50 as it is now, because I'm sure your payment processor, just like mine, you get $50. By the time you actually get the $50, it's only $43 and some change.
yeah, yeah, that
Right? And
part.
then you spend 4 hours. I mean, I spent 6 hours in my last class. So by the time you break that $50 up for $6, I mean 6 hours, I ain't even made $9 an hour.
Yeah, and my classes I do ask for once it goes over my time, I do ask for people to donate, you know. But
Right.
then they still don't donate equivalent to the amount of time that was some people
That was
do it.
given.
Some people see what I'm doing, you know, and they'll send me over an extra 25 or extra 50 if I went over an extra hour or so. And then some
Right.
people will be like, I'm gonna send him $7. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it all. But what I've been doing here lately is I just set the timer. Like, you know what I mean? They know what
Right.
they pay, they know what they paid for, they know what they signed up for. And I try to be as I try to go through without as much talking. Like, you know what I mean?
I got you.
Once this talking starts beginning to be too much, I try to refocus the class. Like, we are on a time limit. So I'll go over a half an hour, maybe 40 minutes at the most, like, you know what I mean? Before I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, that's our time, like, you know what I mean? Come back for the next one, you know, or
Right.
um, check the recording because this is recorded, you know. So I try
Got
to
you.
be mindful of my time here lately, and it's been working. It's been working. But
Okay.
we gotta set that precedent for ourselves because people will, you know, they'll look at it as like, oh yeah, she doing this for us. And really we just be on there trying to make sure that they understand it and make sure
Mm-hmm.
that they feel like they got their money's worth. But then
Right.
other people they will ride it out. They will ride it out and be on there 8 hours if you let them. Like, you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah. I know. I've had a class that was like that.
Yeah. And that's
That's right.
okay. That's okay, because if we were on the opposite end, we would do the same thing. Like, you know what I mean?
But you can't do it every single time, you know, like I said, because if I spent 8 hours every weekend, you know, like I said, that's also 8 hours that I can't be doing something else. You
Yeah,
know, I can't design when I'm teaching,
right.
you know, and I have other projects. I got people reaching out to me, you know, can you do this? Can you do that? Oh, speaking of which, can I send you in Messenger a design that somebody looked out to me to see whether or not it could be done, and you tell me whether or not you think you could do it or recreate something very similar to it in Corel Draw, and tell me what you would charge to do it?
Okay, I will definitely do that for you because a lot of people think designs can be done, and I'll look at them and be like, "Ain't no way in hell. What part did you think I was gonna be able to rhinestone on that?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so I would most definitely do that for you, being that you're another rhinestone artist. If you're asking me, then it must be a doozy. And
Well, it's a doozy for me because it would be one that I would have to trace. You
yeah.
know, the image that she sent me was apparently a picture of a picture, right? So, you know, I have to trace it, and I was able to trace it, but the way the design was created is kind of like got like offsets and shadow text behind letters and things of that nature. And
Yeah,
I'm just wondering, like I said, I'm thinking that maybe Corel would be able to break that image apart and be able to create, you know, those areas that you would fill in with the rhinestones a whole lot easier than me trying to trace it and then, you know, find new fonts to recreate the word. It's a high school T-shirt with a bulldog,
Right.
And I've seen this bulldog before in other places, but I thought about just finding the rhinestone of the bulldog and bringing it in and then just playing around with the text. But, you know, some of these images, you know, of course, it's a set size. So, you know, if the bulldog was already, you know, 9 inches wide, it might be too big for the design the way she currently needs it. So I just need somebody else to put a set of eyes on it and just look at it and say, yes, it can be done. And if it could be done, I think she would be willing to pay. The only problem is I know she said she needed it by August 10th.
Okay.
So I can go in my messenger and forward you that design. And if, you know, like I said, it doesn't have to be today or tomorrow, but when you get a minute, if you could just look at it and see whether or not it's something that you think you could do, I could put you in contact with her. And hopefully she would be willing to pay you to do she'd want a template.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
I'm definitely willing.
All righty. I appreciate that. I
All
want to
right.
see what they look like when you're done. I'm already intrigued.
Oh, with this right here, yeah. So
Yeah.
she had this design right here that she wanted me to do, and I was so reluctant on doing it at first because it was let me show you.
Regina. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was weird, but I do this is what I do. So this is what I do. Here it is right here. And I
Oh,
was
wow.
like, I can just seeing it, I was like, okay, there's a heart, and the heart is going this way, and then there's the Greek letters or whatever. I was like, cool. And then she showed me that, and I was like, cool, I can do that. And then I seen that, and I was like, all right.
So that looks like like a spiral of some sort. Text Traden, send me that link for your shoes. Like that looks like a spiral of
Yeah.
of some sort, like a fill pattern with a spiral twist to it.
Yeah, so when I seen it, I was like, okay, and I was like, I'm gonna redo it. I'm gonna redo her. I'm gonna do her a different heart, like you know what I mean. And she was like, no, she didn't like it. I was like, okay, back to the drawing board. But then
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, he didn't like it. So then I found this sort of starburst, like sort of a heart, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. So now I'm working on that part, and I'm just going to place and fill, island fill. And of course, let me see here. Inside, oh, because I need to put it on one island, and now do it. Island fill. Clear the path, merge overlapping stones. I think she was going to like it better like this, but before I do any of all of that, I should have chopped the text through this
Oh yeah.
part. Yeah, I should have chopped the text through this part. So I was just I already got here, already gotten this far, and
Mm-hmm.
I got to control S save my work before I went out of town. So
Oh, I see. That's probably what you were saying when you was talking about vacation and such. Okay.
yeah, so I never saved this part. CorelDRAW has an auto save feature too, but if you just save something and you don't continue working, it's just only going to be stuck at that last save. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If I get up and shut the computer down, or if I go away on vacation, it's not going to keep auto saving every 20 minutes if it doesn't detect that I've made any changes. Like, you know what I mean?
Right, right.
Yeah, so that was my mistake. I would have been done with this design already had that happened. And I'm just going to fix these curves on each one of these so that they're straighter, and hopefully she likes this design better. If not, I went looking for the spiral heart. Like I could not find it nowhere. And I'm like,
But you know what I would have done? You know what I would have done? I would
what?
have looked out for a black and white vector spiral pattern.
Okay,
Right.
and just did what I just did with
And,
the
mm-hmm.
okay. I'm gonna try that next if she don't like this, but I'm already knee deep into this one, so
because that would have given you the wide, you know, you would have had a wider spiral, a wider, you know, it would look more like, because you would just do and rather than do the island fill, then you could just do the path, you know, just have the stones follow the path, just like in the design that she sent you.
Right. Let me see here. I know when I went looking for them, look. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. I see. Let me go to images.
Like, see
That
that
one
one
right
right
there is too
there?
wide.
You see
There
that
it is
one?
right there. There it is.
Right, but see?
There it is.
Yep, and then you bring that in the same way you did with the star.
Yeah.
When you did the star, and then that would create your spiral, and then you cut out text, and there you go. Then
There
you
we
have
go.
recreated her design.
There we go. See, I was trying to find a heart that had this in it, and I was beyond wits end, you know, trying to find that heart. But there it is
Now,
right there.
yep. Now you see how these patterns, these spirals, like the one right next to the one that we just selected, right?
Yeah.
No, not the one right next to it, but that one that looks like a if you go to the left, the top, the second one from the left.
Oh, this one right here.
No, that one. See,
Yeah.
see those types of fill patterns. That's what that Sierra Hotfix program has. These types of fill patterns in the software, so that you could take a shape and create this fill pattern inside that with rhinestones.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
And they got leopard patterns, zebra patterns, hexagon. I mean, all kinds of pattern fills.
Don't
That
worry.
you could use, so that if you were doing, like, say, for, you know, how you were doing your shirt sleeves or whatever,
Yeah.
I thought about it. I'm like, Ray would like this. This would make his shirt sleeve templates, like, take it to a whole nother level, you know.
I'm
And I
already
see
on it.
where you can create these fill patterns, right? They just take more work, because they have it where you could just click a button and boom, it already creates the fill pattern.
Right.
But
I'm on it. Look, trust me. Wait a
I
minute.
see you.
I'm on it. Let's see here. Group all objects. I'm about to make that pattern just this quick. Watch this. I'm on it. We're going to nudge that out, because that's all I want is those. Boom. I don't even need the inside part.
Nope, you don't need that part anymore.
I'm a
Now it might be SS6 stones, but you know, sometimes you can do them in tens.
watch. I am. Because
Okay,
remember,
now when you do it, you're gonna send me the SVG file, right? So because it's you and me, bud. It's you and me.
check this out. We gotta go above. We gotta go bigger than normal, right? And we're going to just ungroup it all. And I just want to see. Weld it all together. And that's going to come on, weld it.
There's a lot of stuff there now.
It is. And then I'm running Zoom at the same time, and then I'm running a screen recording.
That's right. So you got a lot of resources going.
Boom. Let's see here. Place and fill. All right, take it off of let's put it on SS10s. Island fill. Come on, buddy. It's doing it. Wow. Come on. Bing bong.
See, you see what I'm saying, Ray? I'm telling you, I mean, this was destined, you and me to meet. I mean, like, I can't see no other reason for it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
There'd be no other reason.
Clear the pad, merge overlapping stones.
Boom. Look how fast.
Ready.
Look how fast you did that. You got a whole shirt template right there.
It's ready to go. Oh man. So I've been playing around with the patterns, right? But now you make me want to go find every pattern that's out there, like at least do like because this will be live at the bottom of the shirt. I'm gonna send you the SVG file, but
okay,
it's good. Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. Yeah.
Sometimes I panic though, because I be like, oh my God, it's
Crash. It's gonna
Yeah,
crash. I know.
but I already got it up here. So if
But
it
see,
crashes, I'll just redo it, you know?
zebra pattern, leopard pattern. All the different patterns that we just saw, the swirls. I mean, the
Yeah.
spirals and all kinds of stuff. Nobody is doing this stuff.
Right.
Nobody is doing this stuff.
I am going.
But now you can't go share. We can't go sharing this right with everybody right now.
Right. No, for sure.
Some things got to be proprietary for at least a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially till we work out the ninks and the crannies, like, you know what I mean, and able to monetize it.
Exactly.
But I'm about to go see Deadpool and Wolverine here.
It's on Soap TV. You don't pay no money. It's on. I'm getting ready. I can go watch. I'm gonna watch it on Soap TV.
On what?
Soap TV.
Soap TV. That's an app.
It's one of them, like, you know how back in the day you had them sites where they upload all the stuff to, you ain't supposed to be watching it through them sites. They get shut down all the time or whatever. But I just watched the Kingdom of the Apes the other day. I think my son said Bad Boys was out there, and I saw Wolverine and Deadpool up there yesterday when I was watching Kingdom of the Apes.
All right. Say no more. I'm about to end this video, and I'm about to go see what I can find. Because if I can watch it from the comfort of my own home, I most definitely will.
Just don't go clicking on everything, because the things, sometimes they open up them places where you go get them viruses or whatever. Just stay in the Soap TV site.
I'm very familiar. I'm about to do that now. Thank you for your advice, sweetheart.
I cannot believe that you just turned that pattern though that quick.
I did, but something happened and I had to go back. Something happened and I had to go back to where
try it again when we're not on like I say, you're not using so many resources, and just let me know in Messenger how it turned out.
Yeah, and then I'll send you the SVG for sure.
Okay, babe.
All right now.
All right, bye.